Well, hello, everybody. Hey, I'm doing this the old way for just a few. I'm having some computer problems on my web browser, and I did a full malware check, and it didn't. It found a couple things and minor stuff. I reset everything, but I'm still having some issues with my browser stuff. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, just for this particular hangout, until I can get it all straightened out. But hey, Dragnot, how are you? Good. Glad to hear it. Oh wait, I didn't hear anything. Dragnot, you there? Okay, well, I guess we're Dragnot's fixing his mic. I want to have a hangout. Yeah, your mic's not working because this is something actually I've been talked about before, but I really haven't had a chance to really go too much into details on it. But I think it's important because I have there we go. I have spoken out on social justice warriors before, and people ask me what my beef is with them. Well, this is my beef. Exactly what has happened just I don't know, about an hour or so ago. Brenda decided to flag my video on Pizzagate, which, if you guys remember, Pizzagate was talked about for maybe about 10 minutes. And it was basically me saying that I don't find anything of value about Pizzagate. I don't find anything to be even for an investigation. Well, she found this offensive, and she thinks that this channel is now promoting pedophilia because of that. And
what?
Yeah. I mean, I will read the comment verbatim that she had written. It's public. It is on my video, although it's not showing up. I don't know why. I didn't delete it. It's just should be there.
She wasn't joking, was she?
No. Here's the video. I mean, here's what it says. It says, quote. Actually, I'll screenshot. Well, it's in the video description. Quote. Flagged for adult content. You are free to promote pedophilia on your channel if you wish, but it should be flagged so that children or others can filter out objectionable content. Every time you have Preet or anyone like her on your show, I will flag your channel for that reason. Offensive adult content should not be widely promoted and available to minors. First of all, Preet was not on my show. She was on JD's. And so what if Preet's on somebody's show? If she was paying attention, she realized that myself and JD were refuting Preet and actually chastising her for putting the pictures of kids right on the internet, right, when they're supposed to be, if they were a victim of some kind of molestation or something like that, this is supposed to be protecting them. And what Preet, I found that what she did was just reprehensible. Well, I guess this is a threatening to Brenda. Brenda finds this to be a promotion of pedophilia because I guess we don't think there's anything to Pizzagate. So her way of going about this is not to talk about it. Her way of going about this is to try to flag the video. So according to Brenda, anybody who talks about Pizzagate or pedophilia is going to have their video flagged. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to social justice warriors. I have no choice but to ban her forever on my hangouts. I mean, I can't have somebody around that's just arbitrarily saying that they're going to flag channels because they find the content to be offensive. Here's the deal. If you find the content offensive, don't fucking watch. If you think that because we don't think there's anything to Pizzagate, that we're somehow promoting pedophilia, then you are one fucked up person. You are extremely fucked up, Brenda. I mean, how goddamn dare you to think that somebody, because we don't find anything to be investigatory reasons to demonize these people, that you have to go around trying to flag videos to silence people and censor them. That doesn't fucking work on YouTube. Matter of fact, that's against terms of service. I dare you to start flagging my videos. Be my fucking guest. I do not capitulate to fucking people coming in and trying to shut my channel down. I never have before, and I never will. They've tried. And for something like this, where you think that you have the high ground to say, oh, well, you don't believe in Pizzagate, therefore your channel should be flagged, or you should have videos taken down. Fuck you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a hangout here. If anybody disagrees with me, I'd love to have you come in because I need to take this out on somebody. That you think that anyone would like to join me and tell me that because I don't subscribe to Pizzagate, my videos should be flagged for that. I want to hear from you. And matter of fact, I will put this link out. I will put it out right now. I'm putting in the video description itself. I don't care if we get sniped. I can start another hangout. I'm putting it at the very bottom, so you might have to reload the video. Dragnot, what do you think about that? Do you think my channel or my videos should be flagged because we have talked about Pizzagate for like literally 15 minutes before moving on to something else, and then at 15 minutes I just said I don't think there's anything to it? Should my channel be flagged?
No, that doesn't seem right. That's what I would rather say. Have Brenda come in and have.
Oh no. She is not allowed to come into my channel. I do not. When somebody flags my channel before even discussing things with me, they're done. There is no do-overs with that. Okay, I don't care what she has to say. That's a sign of a very psychotic person to sit and flag channels thinking that they have some kind of moral high ground, and then claim that the channel is promoting pedophilia. This is what I'm talking about with social justice warriors. Throw out pejoratives, throw out people, or oh, they're all either racist or bigots or homophobes or pedophiles. How fucking dare you, Brenda? So no, you are not welcome to come into my hangout ever again. And I want to find a single person that can justify what she did by trying to flag my channel because we talked about Pizzagate. That's what I want to discuss. And I wonder if she flagged JD's too.
This all seems very weird. Like, I understand people having a certain sensitivity to the subject because it is reprehensible, but
absolutely,
what we're trying to figure out is, you know, whether these claims have merit. And sadly, because they are coming from a certain camp, we may not be as objective in considering if it is very credible. But one of the things that I wanted to do is to, you know, go, well, has the CIA, FBI, somebody has any government investigative organization looked into it? Because that's what I would like. Like, worst case scenario, nothing's found. But
I think that they did.
Yeah, from what I've heard, yeah, people said that it was investigated and nothing was found. So now, but what I was curious about is, what did Preet think that she was doing in particular that was helping the situation? Because I found it odd on the one side that she says she didn't trust the government at all and she wants something done about it. Well, citizens can't go out and go beat people. Like, you can't go firebomb the pizza place. Like, that's not a logical course of action. I'm not saying that she said that, but I'm trying to, one of the things I want to ask her is, what did she think that she was actually doing for the situation? Like, how did being on G Plus and attaching 50 hashtags to random children's faces, how did that help the situation? So maybe you can invite Preet and ask her, because I mean, I really am at a loss.
Well, I think her thing was, hang on one sec. Sorry. Yeah, I think she was thinking, you know, that all that it takes for evil to thrive is for good men to do nothing kind of approach. And I think that it's so mental that she literally thinks that any little thing she does to spread the word is somehow helping it, not taking into account the detrimental things that right along with it. For example, that it poison the case, if there is an ever a case, what she's done by, you know, promoting this is just making it so difficult for the investigators to actually have a actual investigation, right? But again, why I found it to be there's nothing to that case is my own business, right? I'm not the only one that thinks there's something to do with Pizzagate, but I have a bigger problem with people saying, well, because you found nothing to do with Pizzagate, you're promoting pedophilia, or that we should flag your channel. I mean, that's social justice warrior gonna rise. And I pointed out before that I thought Brenda was a social justice warrior, and people are just like, oh, you know, that's just a pejorative, and people don't actually do that. Well, yes, they do. Here's a person who, instead of saying, hey, Steve, I found that to be offensive, let's talk about it, or hey, let's talk about your video, when there was nothing about my video that was offensive. Nobody was promoting pedophilia, just the opposite, in fact, just the absolute opposite. And, you know, instead of having a conversation, a social justice warrior would try to bomb the place by throwing out pejoratives and accusations. That's what they do. This is what they're known for. This is what I talk about when I talk about social justice warriors. Brenda is definitely a social justice warrior. I mean, why would you flag a video that is actually condemning pedophilia, but only saying that in this particular case, I don't find anything to be an investigation, right? Worth investigating. I'm just kind of at a loss. I mean, this is kind of bullshit. That there's people in this community that this whole point of this community is a way we can discuss things, right? It's called the Great Debate Community for a reason. People discuss things, and if you can't discuss things, then you have no business being in the community.
I would agree, and I would also say that, you know, if that is where you're going to place the conversation, then if Brenda is around, you should at least allow her the opportunity to say why. Like I understand that she did.
I think you lose that right when you flag a channel.
Well, okay, well we've all had our channels flagged. I mean, G-Man's flagged my shit, but I still talk to him. Like that's, it's nothing's going to happen.
I've never flagged anybody's channel.
I'm saying
well, no, that's not true. I flagged one person's channel one time because they had pictures of dogs being tortured.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, we've all had our channels flagged, like by some way, somebody somewhere. That like that's nothing new. But if you're going to say that, well, this person loses the high ground because they refuse to talk, then you have to at least open the door to say, I want to talk about this, rather than just, you know, throwing stones. So I think if you do want to have that high ground, it should be in your best effort to say, you come in and explain yourself.
Yeah, you bring the voice of reason, aren't you, Drag?
Yes.
Fuck you. You know what, Drag? Even though I'm adamantly against this because I have a one-strike rule, for your sake, because I do respect what you're saying, even though I don't like it, I am going to listen to you. And if Brenda ever wants to discuss this, I will discuss it with her. But I'm doing that marginally. I want you to understand this, because I'm only doing this because I respect you enough to go, okay, maybe Drag is making sense here, rather than, you know, me just going from an emotional point of view as my one strike rule. And I've always had that. Right? What's that?
Well, one strike. I'm confused. I need context on this one strike.
Brenda tried to report one of my videos, the one that we did the other day on like 15 minutes worth of Pizzagate.
Why did she try to report your one of your videos?
She feels that because we don't think there's anything to Pizzagate, that we should be talking about it. I think, or the fact that she says, well, her quote was, I'll quote it again. This is what she left on the video. She said, quote from Brenda, flagged for adult content. Oh, well, I don't think she understands what adult content means. That talking about this Pizzagate is not adult content. You are free to promote pedophilia.
It's childish.
She says, you are free to promote pedophilia on your channel if you wish, but it should be flagged so that children or others can filter out objectionable content. She literally said, you are free to promote pedophilia on your channel because we didn't subscribe to Pizzagate, I guess. That's for her? That's she translates that into promoting pedophilia?
What?
This is dangerous territory, people. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to social justice warriors. They will take something and they'll run with it.
Steve, what that's called is called pedo shaming. It's when you try to silence somebody by using that kind of labeling on them.
Sure,
to get them to go away.
That's what social justice warriors do, though, isn't it?
You're right. Yes. That is purely what that little statement just made. Yeah.
And she says, every time you have Preet or anyone like her on your show, which, by the way, I didn't have Preet on here. JD had Preet on, and she was having a conniption in the live feed there too. I will flag your channel for that reason. Offensive adult content should not be widely promoted and available to minors. There's nothing about adult content of any of these programs. I've never had anything that's 18 and plus for a reason. I don't think she understands what adult content means. You know?
Okay. I'm only hearing one side of this, but the side that I'm hearing makes me lean towards Brenda being in the wrong here. I need to hear Brenda's side of it before I come to a conclusion on this. But yeah, what I'm hearing so far indicates this being really fucked up.
And I agree with you. You know, I hate to say it, obviously, because I do have a one strike rule, but Drag and you are right. There is another side to this, and I have to be aware of that. I cannot be hypocritical and not do it unto myself that I would have done unto others, right?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, though, dude. You know, I mean, it's easy to to look in a case objectively from the outside, but when you're involved in it, yeah, it's hard to lose. I mean, you tend to lose your objectivity a little bit. But I think you guys are right. I would like Brenda to explain this. Why, pray tell, would you ever think about, especially somebody in the community, right? Brenda, considered a friend, right? She's in our hangout. She's in my hangouts all the time. And all of a sudden, she just flags my hangout for what reason? I don't understand.
Supposedly I don't know. I mean, she said adult content. I'm sorry. Can you reread the quote
yes.
From her comment one more time, please?
Quote, Flagged for adult content. You are free to promote pedophilia on your channel if you wish, but it should be flagged so that children or others can filter out objectionable content. Every time you have Preet or anyone like her on your show, I will flag your channel for that reason. Offensive adult content should not be widely promoted and available to minors.
Okay,
Who's Preet?
Preet Wilson.
And how are they adult content?
Preet was on. Did you watch Talking Shit Tuesday the other day?
No, I don't watch Talking Shit Tuesday.
Smart.
I got better things to do on Tuesdays.
Oh, your voice is harsh, by the way. On Talking Shit Tuesday, it got totally derailed, but probably in a good way because I don't like talking.
When
about
does it
things.
not get derailed?
Exactly. The itinerary is a rule of thumb, right? But Preet Wilson came on, and she was banned just recently for spamming the same comment on multiple different forums, basically promoting the idea that there's something to Pizzagate. And Google said this is an egregious amount of spamming, and they banned her. And she was trying to justify it by saying, well, we have to talk about Pizzagate because there's children involved, and these children are being molested and whatever. And yet, when they've done the investigations and anything, nobody's found anything on this. I think this has started with 4chan. I think
it was started on 4chan.
Yeah. And I think they wanted to, to find the most fucked up thing people could ever believe in. And this is one of the things because it pushes buttons, right? And people know how to push people's buttons when they have trigger points.
But by the way,
hold on, Steve. Who would not be outraged if this story was true?
Well, yeah, seriously, that's right. The thing, so right?
It pushes everybody's buttons. If you've never been there,
that's so true.
Does this restaurant even have a basement?
But you know what's funny, and I'm going to play a little devil advocate. No, I don't think it did, but let me play devil's advocate just for the sake of argument. This is because I value free speech.
All right.
Even if my channel, even I said, hey, you know what? I think there was something to Pizzagate, but you know what? Who the fuck cares? Fuck them kids. You know what? They probably had deserved it. If I said something like that, I still have the freedom of speech to say that. Is it vile, reprehensible, disgusting? Yes. And should I ever lose every subscriber I have by somebody saying that? Yes. Right? I mean, but people have the right to say something. That's freedom of speech. And even how vile it is, because that's when you have the community go, you know what? That's some fucked up shit you said. Right? And that's not what's being said. I am oh my God, you don't even know how vile I find these people. But I don't think there was anything to this particular case. And I mean people as in like pedophile and child molesters and sycophants and fucks like that. But nothing in this case was, to me, worth investigating. Once they did a preliminary, right? But to try to flag my channel because I didn't feel the way the social justice warriors and go, oh, Pizzagate, let's go check it out. There must be something to this because 4chan says there is. And so that's reason to flag a channel?
Okay, here's my thing on this. Okay, so Pizzagate was obviously due to some fake news story out there claiming that there was some child sex ring going on. And that made one dumbass actually go in there and start shooting people, as far as I'm aware.
And then when there were no kids...
He shot the floor. He didn't shoot at people. He shot the floor.
Yeah, but he shot the floor. When he found out there were no kids, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. He gave up. I was wrong.
Okay, so
a little after the fact, right?
My intel was a little not quite up to snuff here. It's like it doesn't matter, dude.
My intel was bad. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So basically, and
that's a quote, by the way.
So Steve, when you said you don't subscribe to this Pizzagate bullshit, you mean that in what way?
That I don't think there was ever a molestation ring. I don't think Hillary or Podesta have anything to do with child molestation. And God knows I am not a Hillary fan.
And how the fuck can anyone disagree with that? There wasn't any. It was a fake news story.
I don't know. That's what I firmly believe. Trust me. We've discussed it before. I listened to Mark. I listened to other people.
That's just what Putin wants you to think.
Oh, for fuck's sake. This shit again.
Well, I think that's
the Russians again. That meme is never going to fucking die.
I know it's never going to die.
I do think that's the general consensus. And I don't know what Brenda's thinking. I don't know if she thinks there's something to Pizzagate. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what she's thinking. I have no idea. All I know is when she says you're free to promote pedophilia on your channel, that's pretty vile. That's
some
what you said.
Idiot with
shaming. Is that what you said?
Some idiot somehow got an internet connection and used it to basically brainwash himself. Welcome to the world every day of Flat Earth, except they don't actually have guns. at least for now.
This is
The only
dangerous
reason we haven't seen
territory.
flat earthers with guns because bullets was traveling in straight lines, not arcs. Because
Oh man.
I mean, whenever you have somebody in the community that wants to be the social justice warrior police, I don't like that. I don't want somebody in the community like that. I want to ban them.
Hey, I'm in full agreement with you, Steve. I hate social justice warriors as much as the fucking next dude. Who the fuck is dying? Can they die on a different day? Shut up, ambulance.
Die on your own time, motherfucker.
Brent, you live in Florida. Listen, you're probably going to start off with a Florida man.
Yes, and so with that being said, though, this is not adult content. By us stating that Pizzagate was a bullshit story from the very beginning, and the fact that some guy actually thought it was real made it real story. That was the only real part about it, was that some guy actually thought it was real, not the fucking child sex ring, whatever the fuck itself. If this was actually real, then we would all be offended by it, and we would not be promoting this as a thing to just ignore. We would say that there has got to be some serious fucking action taken against people that are running this pedophilia ring. But that's not what happened. What happened was there was a fake news story. Some douchebag thought it was real and apparently shot the floor. And how the fuck is that adult content by us talking about it?
Yeah, there's nothing graphic. I mean, there was nothing sexually graphic or anything. This is just it was 10 minutes actually in the video of Pizzagate. The rest was moved on because I even said the gate's closed. I'm like, I don't see anything to this.
The gate's closed.
Yeah, the gate's closed.
Gate is closed. Pretty much.
But you know what? It's funny. It wasn't even Preet. Preet didn't flag my channel. Preet was actually civil in JD's Hangout. Preet was actually I want to say she was agreeable, but she was talkative and at least wanted to discuss things. She wasn't argumentative. She wasn't insulting. I had no problem with Preet whatsoever, except for I don't find her line of argumentation to be right, and I think what she did was horrific. But at least she wasn't batshit enough to flag JD's video, right? And I think maybe Brenda did. I don't know. I'd have to ask JD. I'm trying to get him in here, but if she flagged mine, she certainly had to flag TST because she even said on here, every time you have Brenda on, or every time you have Preet on, I'm going to flag your channel.
Well, that right there is a special kind of bullshit, because you can't just automatically flag something if there's a certain person in there. For all you know, that one particular person could have spent the entire hangout talking about puppies and kittens and all the things that make life wonderful, and you're going to flag it just because they're there? Seriously? How fucking petty can you get?
And Nevin's asking for the link. It was the I don't think we had the I don't have the link to the live chat. Brenda seemed to be losing her shit in the live feed during TST. I don't know what about it. I wasn't paying that much attention. She just said,
should I send?
I'm leaving.
Should I send Brenda the link to this hangout over Skype?
I don't give. Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna listen to Dragnon and you for a change because I seldom ever do.
Fuck you, man.
And I'm going to take the high ground. And if she wants to discuss this, I have to impose the same rules I do on everybody else as I do myself. So fine. But I'm not a fan of this because, again, I think that anybody flags a channel, I don't really want in my channel, but whatever.
Well, yeah, flagging I think was a bit too far. But like I said, I'm not going to actually be solid on this position until I actually speak to Brenda.
You have to listen to both people.
I have to listen to both people. You know,
I agree.
Otherwise, I'm no better than G-Man.
And I want people to notice here, Reg is like one of my favorite people online. Me and him are buds, right? I mean, he's one of the besties I have on here. I love Reg to death, and I'm slightly gay way, but slightly gay. Yeah, just marginally. But I mean, even he has to get both sides of the story. So don't take it personally when somebody says, I want to get, all the information, right? That's how you should do it. Reg is actually being, normal here, so I don't take it offensively.
As long as you ignore the fact that Brenda is currently offline, so we're gonna be waiting for a while. Yeah.
Well, Gary's like, I'm not her, but she had her reasons. Well, everybody has reasons. Doesn't mean they're good reasons. Gary. Yeah, I mean, I don't think she had any reasons. By going what she wrote me, she had no reasons. She said, quote, every time you have Preet or anyone like her on your show, I will flag your channel for that reason. That is literally saying to people, I want to control who you have on and who you don't. Matter of fact, I will have Preet on right now. Let's invite her right now. Preet.
Yeah. Also, is it possible that I can send this link to Annabelle? Is that perfectly okay with you?
I already did.
Oh, you already did? Sweet.
Yeah, but she usually sometimes likes to hang in the live feed. But yeah, send this to Preet. I sent it. I mean, open it to her, but can you send it to her directly if you have it? I'll invite Preet to every hangout I have just to piss Brenda off. I mean, you guys have known I have never backed down to a challenge. I mean, never. I have not. When Ernie tried flagging my channel, when G-Man has threatened my channel, I don't back down.
Hang on, Steve. Before we get into a full,
I did with Joe.
Hang on. Before we get into a full pissing contest, let's see if we can, either in the outside chat or in this hangout, get Brenda's side. And then once we do get both sides, then if we find it necessary to start World War III, then we will go ahead and do that.
Mr. GPT says, Brenda was angry because you allowed Preet to say the president. I know what that means. I guess she wanted Preet to not be on your show. She was very angry. Preet has never been in here. Well, I know. I think Preet came in once, like a year ago, maybe. I'm stretching it here.
So is that comment meant to suggest that the only reason that she was really pissed off was because you were talking to someone that she doesn't like?
I don't know. Dude, I have no idea.
Well, I'm not saying that is the case, but if that is the case, then that's some petty fucking middle school bullshit.
Well, it's petty middle school would say you're free to promote pedophilia on your channel. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. So
I mean, I just because I was against, not against, but I was just saying that I don't think there was anything to really worry about with pedophilia as far as Pizzagate. That's all. And we were asking Preet, why don't you investigate the things you can investigate? Why don't you become a social worker? Something like that. I think that would be far more effective, right? And Krill, I gave you the link to come in too.
Yeah,
but I mean, this is dangerous because you run a channel, Tom runs a channel. I mean, if all of a sudden when Brenda gets pissed off, she just starts flagging people. This needs to be taken care of. I mean, this is a community thing. I don't take kindly to people try to flag channels, and because they're false flags, because nothing will become of this. Because I can very careful to know what's adult content and what's not, and what is flaggable and what's not. And there's nothing in that video that's flaggable.
Oh, the president was a pedophile, apparently. From
who said that?
In your live chat, Mr. GPT.
No. Who said the president was a ped?
So apparently this was I guess someone made that comment, I'm guessing. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't even remember it if somebody did. But if they did, I would step on that as well. I mean, I'm not a big Obama fan, but I certainly don't think
repent. We're not saying that she randomly felt like flagging Steve for no reason. We say, yeah, she has a reason. We just want to know if it's a good reason. That's why we need her side of it, because if it is a good reason, then I'm more than happy to accept it. But if it's not a good reason and she just jumped the gun on this, then guess what? She would need to do one of two things. She would either need to explain herself in a way that doesn't make her batshit crazy, or she would need to apologize and promise never to do it again.
Well, I think she did put down a reason in the comment, but none of those are good reasons.
Well, no, that wasn't a reason. The reason she was blaming you for doing something that you didn't do. You were not trying to advocate pedophilia, for fuck's sake. You were saying that there was nothing to worry about when it comes to pedophilia in regards to Pizzagate, not an actual sex ring that actually exists.
I don't know how anybody can misconstrue that. It's just mind-boggling to me.
So you were blamed for something that you did not do. That is not a reason. That is a misunderstanding, and it is a misunderstanding on her part. And well, until I get
misunderstanding, it was we talked about it for 10 minutes, and there was nothing more than me saying that I don't think.
Which is why I'm saying she jumped the gun on this one. So that's why I'm going to need Brenda to kind of tell me what the hell is going on from her perspective, so I can see exactly where to go from here.
Oh, I know what Mr. GPT is talking about. Yeah, Preet said that the president was, because he had his niece on his photograph. I remember that because I did comment on that. Okay, I know what you're referring to. Yeah, and that was pretty ridiculous. But you know what? We were all condemning Preet for that, right? So why would Brenda get all fucking butthurt when the whole group, all 9 of us, were basically beating down Preet for something like that? I mean, I would, if Brenda didn't want to watch, I get that. Fine, don't watch. But I think that when you lose your shit because 9 people are coming down on one person rather than 9 people supporting that one person, that would have been a different story, right? If Preet would have had a much better case, she said, hey, Preet's saying the president's a pedo, and you have 9 people agreeing with her, what the fuck's wrong with you people? Then she would have a legitimate argument, right?
I'm wondering, has Brenda come out as full SJW or something, or not? Not
This
quite.
is not the first time the things.
I know,
like
Red. You don't come out. It's a lifestyle choice.
Yeah, you don't. It's a lifestyle. Yeah, it's the way you're born. Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Not that. I'm talking about a social justice warrior. I'm
talking about social justice warriors. I don't know. I think these people are just batshit crazy, like flat earthers. I really do. They've so lost touch with reality, and they think that by shutting down speech, they're going to actually promote free speech.
How they? Now I'm curious. How do you think they've lost touch with reality?
Because again, they think that shutting down speech promotes free speech. I mean, have you ever listened to some of these people? I mean,
that is pretty stupid.
I love Undoomed. I like Thunderfoot. You guys, some people don't. I like the stuff they say, and I do like the fact they point out the social justice warriors do lose their shit and really have this mentality. Oh well, I'm promoting feminism. No, you're not. Everybody here is an old school feminist when it comes to egalitarianism and first and second wave. I don't know anybody who thinks women should not have the same rights as men. Nobody who thinks that anymore, unless you're a male chauvinist pig. But there's very few of them left. But to say that there's some kind of misogyny that goes on in the workforce and all these other things, and that women should have like all these special rights, no, I'm not for that.
Hashtag blocked by Steve.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I think that I believe in equality, and I think that the social justice warriors, when they hit this fourth and fifth wave feminism stuff, they've just gone off the deep end, right? You know, they don't seem to realize that there is a difference between men and women. There is. I mean, sorry, but there is. But it doesn't make one better than the others. We should all have the same rights, same humanity, the same. We should. How should I say this? When it comes to like people being like sexually assaulted, or people being promote, you know, get it here. I'll give you a promotion if you sleep in there, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I get that. That should all across the board fall into the same legal ramifications. But these social justice warriors think that, you know what, you say something nice to somebody, you're harassing them. Hey, Reds, you know, Fiona thinks you're hot. She's sexually harassing you, according to a social justice warrior. You know,
then we're gonna have to throw Annabelle in jail. We're gonna have to put the Holy Spackle in jail, Groovy in jail.
But if I say, hey, look, I think Nevin's attractive, you know, I'm like, oh, look at Steve, he's just a dirty old man. Fuck off. Nevin's attractive. She knows she's attractive. She's attractive because she knows she is, but she doesn't act like it. I find that to be attractive.
Careful, Steve.
What's pseudo? She's of age.
Hello could set them off. Because you have to watch your tone, because you could be using like a harassing.
Yeah, it's called a microaggression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, but Nev's not like that.
Microaggression.
She doesn't bite on that bullshit. But it's true though. Social justice warriors love this little microaggression shit. You have to watch your P's and Q's and have to watch everything you say. And I don't function like that.
Basically, all I'm getting here is that she heard the word pedophile and was instantly triggered.
But by what? I mean,
by the word. I mean, that's what triggered means.
But I mean,
yeah, that's how social justice warriors work. They have a list of words they don't tell you about. When you say it, it's kind of like the secret word of the day on Pee-wee's Playhouse. When it gets said, everybody runs around and screams. And until you say it, nothing happens.
Yeah, I should get more marks, because I don't think Annabelle's that unattractive either. So if you want to give me shit, give me shit for thinking Annabelle's not that unattractive either. She's pretty pretty. So people are like, oh my God, Steve said Annabelle's attractive. What the fuck's wrong with him? Yeah, whatever. I think Reds is attractive too. What the hell you want to make of it?
Fuck you.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm a jump the bandwagon, my friend. You know.
See, right there. There's my triggered moment.
Well, except for that major scar and burn marks, I don't find your burn. I mean, yes, you look like you've been ran over by a fucking Mack truck, but I mean, the drooping eye, I can get over. It's okay.
The drooping eye, the hole in the face, the fact that I look like a piece of salami draped over an old wet log.
But you got to see my point that I don't care what people say. It's when it comes to, just being polite or being nice or expressing themselves. If you don't know the difference between just expressing yourself and stalking or being really, really creepy, like Niflin Free or those things.
Oh, no.
I mean, then obviously your judgment is pretty skewed, right? I mean, you should kind of be able to differentiate between somebody just being nice, somebody just having, regular conversation with friends, and people that are actually out there being really creepy and really stalkish. Because we do have people in the community like that. There's no question.
Here's what we should do for the next one. What we really should start doing, and what Google should start doing, is start saving these broadcasts, but with the live chat saved, so that we can see exactly what the hell was going on in the outside chat while the hangout was going on. That would be a good feature, Google. Can we get that, please? Because that would really help us out right now.
You could probably do it with XSplit, you know, at least show it. TST doesn't do that. But here's the thing. Preet was on TSTs. Mr. GPT is saying, well, Brenda was upset you had Preet on. Well, first of all, Preet wasn't even in my hangout. She was in JD Kane's. So did she flag his video? And who the fuck is Brenda to say who in the hell you can and cannot have on? I'm actually was recommended to go get in touch with a girl named Zena. She was the son of Anton LaVey, and have her on as a guest. So if I have a Satanist in here as a guest, am I going to get flagged by the hardcore Christians? What's the difference?
Yeah.
And she's an atheist Christian. I mean, atheist Satanist, but one of my friends here is a producer, and he was recommending her to me, and so I'm going to try to get maybe hold of her and get her in here. But
I'm going to be also sending Annabelle an email with the link attached. So Annabelle will be coming in momentarily.
Yeah, I want to hear what Annabelle has to say on it too. I mean, I've been reading the live feed, but I'm just really I think I'm more bummed out that I thought Brenda was a friend, and to see how somebody just turns on you on a dime without even talking to you first.
Well, hang on. Once again, I got to stop you there, Steve. You know, because just like what happened with somebody at some point about something which we're not going to get into, we can all jump the gun at times.
But flagging video is pretty big jumping the gun, isn't it?
Hang on. We can all jump the gun at times. Now, let's say she comes back in and says, you know, Steve, I fucked up there. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And I want to give you $20 as a token of my appreciation, because without you, Steve, life just wouldn't be worth living. I'm sorry. Please come over sometime, and I'll give you a hand job.
I'll make you dinner. Yeah. I don't think I want the 20 or the hand job from Brenda. She is welcome to.
But let's have it's a sentiment that counts. It's a sentiment that counts. So let's say she came back in.
You're the only man I've ever said that can give me a hand job, Brenda.
God damn it! I understand that I'm special that way. You did say the paddle motion. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
So like, adult content.
Let me say this: if she actually came in and actually said that, though, would you forgive her?
When you say forgive, yes. Where I forget, no.
No. Forgive. Don't forget. Just forgive.
I wouldn't ban her, but I'd be very cautious around her.
That's fair enough. That's fair. I mean, what more can you say? That's fair. That is fair.
I try to be fair. I don't. Again, if I expect other people to be fair, I have to be fair and reasonable myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of fair and reasonable, Annabelle.
Hi, Annabelle.
Boy, she doesn't hear that too often.
What did you say?
I said, speaking of fair and reasonable, hi, Annabelle. And I was like, wait a minute, she doesn't hear those words too often.
I just saw your hangout name, and I just thought, what the fuck?
What the fuck is right? I don't know. This was yesterday. Well, this was a comment yesterday. I just got it because I was having some browser problems. So I hadn't checked my mail since yesterday.
Get this straight. She flagged JD's channel. Is that right?
I don't know. She flagged mine.
Oh. She flagged your channel.
Yeah.
And
my video.
And what's her
reason? She didn't flag the channel. She flagged the video. The one we did. Remember the other day, the TST after show.
Yeah. So she's flagged your channel because of a conversation you had with somebody on another channel.
I would appear. Yeah, I believe so.
That's just the most ridiculous, illogical thing to do. So if she's going to flag a channel for the conversation that she's so offended by, which, by the way, was not that offensive. In fact, like you said, Preet was reasonably civil. Everyone else was. Of course, what Preet was coming up with was pretty weak, but the idea that anyone in that group was even close to supporting pedophilia just blows my mind. I just don't understand where Brenda's lost it. That's basically what's happened.
Well, that's what happens with social justice warriors. People say, "Oh, Steve, you're just kind of using that term and you throw it out there as a pejorative," which I do, but I don't use it indiscriminately. There are reasons why I label certain people SJWs, and it's very few. I mean, if I was labeling everybody SJW, then people would have a case. But I know an SJW when I see it. She is a definitive SJW, and I think she probably even admits to it. And this is the type of tactics they use. Mm-hmm.
But it's just that term SJW is so broadly used now. It's not, social justice. I can be a social justice warrior sometimes when I'm particularly annoyed about something, but I'm not actually that keen on censorship or trying to shut people down based on something that I don't like, unless it's a troll just doing something out of spite.
She flagged Tom's channel as well. Somebody was saying the live feed. Yeah, but SJW is a lifestyle. I mean, SJW.
That's what I'm trying to find out right now.
Yeah, it's not just one thing. I mean,
yeah, come on, you can tell an SJW a mile away. They walk around with chalk in their pocket.
I don't get it.
It's great safe spaces.
I just think
I get you.
I have this part of Brenda that I try and understand because she's been through such a hard time. I mean, she really has, and she's lost an awful lot of things in her life based on her transgenderism, and that can make you. I hate the word bitter, but that could be possibly what this is, and she's just angry and lashing out. And I
get that. I think that might be possible, but still, I mean, that's.
I mean, I don't know if she's had abuse in her life or something like that. Perhaps, I don't know, but pedophilia is such a touchy subject. It is for a lot of people in this community. A lot of people in this community have been affected by it. So to actually flag someone's channel that had nothing to do with the actual conversation, you were just in the conversation, other than you were one person on the panel. It's just so ridiculous. I just don't understand it.
I can't figure it out.
And I can confirm, based on what I've been told in the live chat, that the same thing happened to Tom's Hangout about something possibly similar.
So I mean, Brenda's becoming the internet police.
Well, this is what my problem is that she just feels that she can flag anyone's channel because she doesn't like what she hears being discussed.
It appears so. You know.
I mean, that's sad because she's quite a strong character in the community. She does bring a lot of entertainment, and she's just going to get blackballs based on the fact that she's going around flagging people's. You don't flag people's channels just because you don't like what you hear. What you do, Brenda, if you're listening, is you walk away and decide to take a break.
Well, and not only that, I have to say, I wouldn't say walk away per se. You could do that, but I mean, just ask the person in private. Say, hey, Steve, what were you trying to get at with that? You know, can I talk to you about this? I'll talk to anybody. People message me all the time. You know, I one size doesn't please all, right? I get different viewpoints, right? Annabelle, you know, of all people know that I get different viewpoints.
In the chat, they're saying it doesn't matter because you know a flag doesn't. It's not the point. The point is
yeah.
And Tom's channel has been shut down because of it, so it does matter.
Yeah, I mean, it is you know, a false flag, and but the second time somebody's tried to do this. But again, as Annabelle points out, if you have somebody going around the video just flagging videos at will because they don't like the content, they don't need to be in the community, and they should be blackballed.
Right.
Yeah, that's unnecessary censorship right there.
If you don't,
that's not censorship.
No. What Brenda was.
Oh yeah,
doing.
yeah, exactly.
You see, because what is being said in the chat is that well, it's pretty much the same thing that's being said here. Apparently, whenever there is a conversation, not necessarily people agreeing one way or another. Let's hypothetically say that that there is an argument. And this argument, like, for example, we were arguing with Dionysus, that racist piece of shit, about another race issue. And we were fighting against it. And so technically you could actually say that the entire hangout was a bunch of rational people debate against a racist prickhead. But if that's the conversation and it is about race and she doesn't like that, is she all of a sudden going to flag the channel? It's not Tom's fault that just happens to be the topic that came up, and that's the douchebag that happened to click the link.
I totally agree. Matter of fact, I don't listen to Tom a lot because of the racist crap that goes on there. But I'm not going to try to shut down his channel.
Exactly. See, if you don't, that's why I agree with. See, if you do not like the conversation, then you can simply click off of the hangout. What you should not be doing is preventing people from having the conversation if they want to have the conversation. And you also shouldn't be preventing people from hearing the conversation if they want to hear it. It's a conversation. It's a debate. These things happen. So, you know, I'm sorry that sometimes we debate over topics that are rather uncomfortable, but such is life. Get the fuck over it.
Yeah, and you just don't engage with those topics you don't like discussing. Like everybody knows I don't have racial talks in my hangouts. It's nothing that it's not that I'm uncomfortable talking about. It's just that I don't like it because I think that the people promoting the racism have usually more voice to it.
Is officially crazy. So there's that.
Yeah, and I don't want to deal with that bullshit, right? I don't want to give them a platform at all.
Yeah.
You're right there, Pseudo?
Yeah, you dying on me?
Yeah, I'm all tucked in.
Oh,
you're all tucked in.
Yeah, I got the blanket on me now. I'm all tucked in.
Oh, that's the best way to be in a hangout, isn't it? Just
you know, he's laying on his bed on his side, and he has the computer also tilted sideways.
No, I'm on the computer chair.
Okay, here's what you gotta do. You gotta get into bed, you gotta lay on your side, and you gotta tip the laptop sideways.
I don't have a laptop, so.
All right, what you need to do is you need to get a laptop, get in bed, and then tip the bitch sideways. Trust me on this.
Why don't you just use a tablet?
Because the laptop has that little L shape, so it can kind of stand up on its own.
Well, tablets have that little fold-out leggy thing in the back.
Well, yeah, that's an optional extra. Anyway, okay, getting back on topic. All I'm saying is that, Brenda, if you do not want to listen to the conversation, no one is forcing you to listen to the conversation. You can easily...
That was my point. That was what I was trying to say.
You can leave at any time.
I can read something. Skylar, hey, Skylar, I want to give you 1 second. I want to read what Tyler wrote. This is funny because I think I know what he was talking about. Tyler said, I want to know who the fuck was up with that loud twat waffle in Steve's last hangout that refused to shut up and let people explain things to him. I switched to watching drunken peasants because of that prick.
Oh,
hey, Tyler, are you thinking of Max? Was that Max?
Was he talking about live or lived? Bird?
No, I don't know. It was either Max hangs out or lived. It could be.
Oh, it had
was lived.
I had to shut it off because of lived. He just did not stop.
Oh. Well, yeah, I'm not going to lie. One of the reasons I ended earlier because I just.
Oh, I know that's why. I was laughing my head off because I know exactly why you ended that hangout because he just would not shut the fuck up.
And because that's the third time he's asked those questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Once the hangout ended, he and multiple personalities sat there and we for a while. He's not that bad.
No, I like Lived. No, I have nothing against him, but he
spoke with Lived yesterday on Earth Discussions.
Yeah, I like Lived.
He got really pissed off though. He got really pissed off yesterday.
I didn't say he was a bad guy. I'm just saying that he waffles on and he doesn't let anyone else speak. He just goes on, and then when somebody tries to get in a valid response to his claims or to his, he's got a very. I think has he been around? He seems to have not been around very long.
No, he's new. He's new.
Yeah,
I think he hasn't got it down yet. Yeah.
His arguments, as with a lot of newbies, doesn't get that these arguments have been had 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And that
he also doesn't know
his ideas are not new, and his fantastic opinions are not the first time we've heard them. And that's
I know it's kind of like watching Bionic Dance videos.
No.
You watch 12 of them. You've seen them all.
You watch 12 of them. You're going to be permitted to an asylum. Anyway, Skylar. Hey, Skylar. So, this is probably something you should be aware of too. Because
no. He's not Skylar. He's DGH.
Oh yes, of course. I'm sorry. Darwin's Greatest Hits Part 2.
Yes.
Well, Skylar, you picked up a lot of video skills, in the last year or two.
Yeah.
Impressed.
Well, maybe I can really hide my other videos well. Maybe I just, have a whole different style on the other side.
Can you explain to me Bayes' theorem, like Darwin's Greatest Hits on that one video again? I mean, that was really good. I did a brilliant job of explaining Bayes' theorem.
I can't make it too obvious, because if I
just say the probability of that and the probability of this, the probability of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
moving on.
Hang on. I got something to say. Hey, Skylar, long time no rape. How's it been?
It's been very nice not being raped.
Channel now.
Yep. Yeah,
And-
no, I'm sorry, Steve. Now your channel's going to get flagged.
You know, and let me point this out. I am one of those dark humor persons, okay? And I joked about all kinds of shit. I mean, in fact, I dropped my limit of the movie called the Aristocrats. I thought everybody was like, okay, this is like the worst you could be as humor. And I was like, okay, that is even bad for me because I didn't think it was that funny. But I have a warped, twisted sense of humor. If you guys seen the Aristocrats, it's really fucking horrible humor. Let me tell you. Think about the most wretched jokes you could imagine. That's what this movie was about. But I think that people use humor to try to mitigate some of the horrific feelings when these things are talked about, like rape. When people joke about rape, that doesn't mean they're promoting rape. It means it just means
we need to have a fucking lecture about this shit because I was just trying to say hi to Skylar. Holy fuck. The world is coming to an end.
You got triggered. I got triggered, man, because I like
the world is coming to an end as we know it.
So when I say go fuck yourself, I'm not literally meaning go stick your head up your.
See what I mean? Okay. Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. Hi, Skylar, in the most not offensive way I could possibly.
There you go.
Yeah, there.
So Social Justice Warrior and me kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why people I don't get it either. People gotta not be so sensitive these days. Everyone's like too sensitive about everything. Like language to me is like the most thing you should be unsensitive about.
So you're being wait a minute, you're being insensitive toward people that are too sensitive. How dare you?
Tell them to go fuck themselves, huh? Yeah.
Skylar, when is the last time you ate a donut?
Oh, it's been a while. But I love donuts. They're fucking delicious when I eat them.
Please stop appropriating my culture.
So have you dropped eating them? Is that true?
Yeah, man. I just kind of, you know what, man? I think there has to just come a time where my wishful thinking and some of the stuff that I find I don't know. I think there's stuff that's very fascinating about the universe and I don't know, just certain ideas from like Eastern philosophy and things like that. I love Alan Watts. Like some of the stuff's really interesting, right? And you get kind of like, you get in this mode where you get romantic with it. And you're like, maybe there's something better than all, more than what the real world is. And I think I got a little romantic with it. And I just basically got down to a point where I was like, you know what? It's realistically, I don't believe the shit in a sense. It's like, I can want and wish that this might be the case, and maybe when we all fucking die, there'll be something better. Who knows, right? But to believe it at this point in life, it seems kind of like, why do I like when I have to question my own beliefs and obviously me never debating it. Like if someone was to debate me about it, like I'd get my ass handed to me about deism. Like just really I don't have any evidence or anything like that to prove.
So you're going with agnosticism then?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I don't split
Hey,
label.
welcome to Black Yay! I offered him cookies. See what happens? Cookies win. Cookies win. There's like 5 of us left of the agnosticists. So
I don't know what's out there, man. I mean, I don't know if we would use. Can you say that you're an atheist to certain religions, like in a sense, like I obviously don't believe
again,
in it.
it's. Well, I tried having this conversation with G, man. Yeah, see how that turned out. I say, listen, what I do or what I've started doing is I usually just give the definition of what I am, and I let other people pick the word for me, because if I put a label on myself or if you put a label on yourself, depending who you're talking to, that label has a shitload of baggage that doesn't necessarily reflect you in the most accurate light. So I'll state the definition, you pick the fucking word.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree.
And in Red's case, that label will also be sticking out of the back of the collar of his shirt, and it will bug him all day.
Yeah, dude, it's like having a fucking cactus. Like seriously, who the fuck came up with this shit? Print it into the back.
Well, they have tagless now, you know.
Yeah, and you want to know something? Now I'm going to get nothing but tagless.
Yeah, this is the best.
Son of a bitch, from that shit that feels like a goddamn cactus is poking you in the back of your neck. God.
So, Skylar, as a channel op, I mean, what do you feel about people that try to use the YouTube flagging system to censor what's being talked about in a video?
Well, they're pretty much douchebags. Number one.
I would say more than pretty much.
To the surprise of absolutely nobody.
Yeah. Secondly, I think that if I don't like, I think someone might have said this earlier. If I don't like what I'm listening to, I don't listen to it. That's the bottom line. The only time I would ever report something is if one, it's actually racist, or if it's actually a racist comment. And then secondly would be if I felt someone was actually making threats of violence towards somebody.
Sure, absolutely.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, I reported somebody for, like I said, they're putting pictures of tortured dogs on the internet. And
Yeah, exactly. That's a good, yeah.
And the worst was they weren't even advocating for like PETA. They weren't like trying to say, you know, don't harm animals. This person was like, animals don't have a soul, so it doesn't matter what we do to them.
Oh God.
I'm not lying. I was like, this is some fucked up.
Who was this?
I don't remember the person's name. This was a long time ago.
Oh, you don't even know Steve.
They got their channel taken down, but
How can you not love doggies?
I don't know, but that's some fucked up shit when you say. I mean, I at least understand from somebody from PETA using the shock value. I don't agree with emotion, but I at least would make a little bit more sense to me than somebody saying, "Hey, you know what? Dogs don't have souls, therefore you could do this to them and show graphic pictures."
This one might not have a soul. He's quite vicious.
Well, they just have an angry soul.
Yeah. Did you see that video I put up of him? I put a video up of Molly laughing, and then I put another video up of him not laughing. Anyway, don't worry. Carry on. Got nothing to do with what
I know. I'm a dog lover. Don't get me wrong. Oh, that's going to go on a soundboard. That's going to be like, oh, look at Steve fucks dogs now. You know?
I hear last week Steve had a date with Darwin's dog.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
I got two
dogs.
dogs.
That dog is a train wreck, but you know she's really cute. So.
Yep. My dogs are so cute. I got a picture of a dog sleeping on my dog's face, which is also sleeping on my lap. Oh, you think I'm joking?
No.
Yeah, Red's got two gorgeous doggies.
I've had a few bitches in my time.
Oh my God.
Hey, Target, by the way, I love Jesus. You know you're blocked in my live feed. You'll be blocked every time you come back in my live feed. You're forever banned in my live feed because you're a troll. I unblocked everybody, but you know, as soon as you start trolling like you're doing, you're done. So
here, look. Here's the ugly one. Sorry, I'm doing a Jackie on everyone. Sorry.
Doing a Jackie. Wow. such an accurate description.
If I give one cuddles, I have to give the other one, otherwise they get jealous. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Sorry.
It's not an interesting part.
Who was
I was just letting. I love
the troll.
Oh, I love Jesus. He just sits there and trolls in a live feed.
All right, I love Jesus. If you're listening, I've been trolling Steve for years, and I've never been banned or kicked out. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, seriously, you got a good point. Well, I mean, he just sits in the live feed and he just trolls, and he does this in everybody's hangout. And
well, you know, it says so in the Bible, right?
Well, it just takes up space, and it's hard to keep reading what people actually want to read. So I figure you got to put down the kibosh sometimes, right? I mean, if somebody want to come in and promote their thing in the live feed, I have no problem with that. But when they're just trolling people, that's of no interest. Oh, hey, Joe, you make a good point. Skylar here and Darren's Greatest Hits is not here. That is a good point. But Joe, you're here too.
Yeah, but Joe's pointing it out, so really that's just deflection.
Yes, deflection. Yes, exactly.
It's all coming clear now.
You know, I was going to tell you earlier that with like you were talking about like stuff being sent to you. Somebody like it was in my message is through YouTube, and they sent me like, and I shouldn't have clicked on it. It was my own dumb mistake for trying to click on a link. But it sent me to like a group of pictures, right? But they were the strangest thing I've probably ever seen on the internet. Like some of them were violent, right? Some of them were extremely violent. But then there was other ones that had like just weird like religious type art basically with it. All with the theme of hell, of course. Everything was like themed in hell, like, and it was like some, you know, of course, would be like aborted babies. I think was thrown in there, like any kind of awful thing you don't want to like see. Like there was like in this folder, but nothing illegal.
You know, you don't make a case by shock value, right? You just don't do it. And when Preet even brought up like the Holocaust, and I'm like, you're so missing the difference between the Holocaust and you're trying to promote the fact you don't accept abortion. That you're using wrong means, and people just think you're a nutter when you do this.
Oh yeah, random thing. This is a picture of my dog's face, sleeping on my dog's face, sleeping on my lap. just so you guys can see what I showed Annabelle.
See how good looking he is? Can you see how good looking Red is from that?
It's my
picture?
crotch.
I can tell. I know.
So now we're looking at Red's crotch. Am I going to get flagged now because we're looking at Red's
Possibly.
crotch?
But
Well,
look at the.
you're going to get flagged for my sexual.
I would have to use
comment.
high resolution to see anything anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
I mean, come on, you got
I don't know
it.
about
Them doggies are pretty cute. Okay, so now you have enough.
I'm objectifying him. Therefore, this channel must be.
Objectify him all you wish. I'm all for objectification.
I was staring at him. I was ogling at him last night. I was just like so entranced by his just pure beauty.
Where the fuck was I when this happens?
Yeah, Red's is not all that.
This is his reaction. This is my reaction to his insistence that he was hit with the ugly stick as he fell off the ugly tree.
It's not pretty.
All the branches. That's and I'm just going to give it back to you, back in spades. So hopefully you'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she does have a really bad habit of kicking my ass every time I make
know.
the.
It's 2017. She says you need to find a new shtick.
Yeah. I did.
Stop being so self-effacing. Is it? Is that the word?
Yeah, effacing or deprivating. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I promised.
It's not cool.
Annabelle made me promise. Okay, so I have to agree. I'm still working on it.
You talk about something. Hey, Reg, talk about how dumb as fuck you are.
I'm going to show everybody how hot he is in real life, and then his cover is blown.
Well, he could talk about how dumb he is. Right, Reg? You're just a moron who doesn't understand basic
That
math.
would be completely dishonest. He actually is fucking hot, so I'm not being dishonest.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking hot.
You see, you brought it upon yourself, Red. You brought it upon yourself.
I didn't think we'd come back to haunt me this bad. Oh
Yeah.
God, there's Jade, another person that
All I know is this, Reg.
disagrees with the ugly stick
If I
comment.
was gay, you would not be my type. If you want my honest opinion, sorry, you would not be my type
Yes.
at all.
Can you hear me?
Yes. But we're
Oh,
talking about my type, and Red's is not my type. If I was going to turn gay, I would be like the Lorenzo Lamas type
I
dude, where
would
the guy.
like, as long as I could put a bag over Steve's head, I would fuck him.
Yeah, I got a great body. No, I really do. I'm in good shape. At least like, I mean, I'm not fat or anything.
I tell you what, I've got a deal with you, Steve. If you shave that ridiculous beard off, then I'll give you a blowjob. Deal?
What? Oh.
It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
also,
I would probably take her up on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Also,
There you go. You see, Steve, you would not shave it off for Gus, but you'll shave it off for a blowjob.
Well, blowjob's more important.
you know,
It can't be bought, man. I can't
Jade is another person that was actually able to gaze upon my mug, and she also made me promise to stop saying these things. Why are you all against me?
I don't care.
No one's against you. We all love you, you idiot.
Are you having a persecution complex now?
Can you?
Did you feel persecuted? Hated
Jade,
upon?
are you still there?
Jade, we lose you.
I
No.
think we lost Jade.
Jade, we can't hear you.
Yeah. No. Okay.
We're talking about it. Who, if I turn gay, would I go for? I like the guy. I like the guy from Arrow, John Barrowman, who was on. Is that his last name? He's from The Doctor. He played Captain Jack Harkness. That guy's fucking hot. He's a good-looking dude.
Okay, so essentially, for those of you who are curious, essentially, I've been threatened to stop saying the ugly thing, and otherwise, Annabelle did say that when she met me, that she was going to hurt me in very interesting ways. So, yeah.
Don't say things that, no, you read. People will construe that as the granny of the group wants to fuck the young studs. So please don't say things like that. Thank you very much.
Did you actually offer it on Steve's Hangout previously? I mean, I'm just pointing that out.
I don't know. Maybe, possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I would. But look, I'm old enough to be your mother, so it's kind of embarrassing to admit that I have the hots from.
Yeah, I'm old enough to be his dad. So maybe Annabelle, maybe he's our child. Is that possible?
God.
Maybe we could be his mummy and daddy. Mummy and daddy.
Yeah, we'll at least be his surrogate mummy and daddy for a while.
Dad, can I borrow your keys?
So this is getting really creepy now.
Hey son, can I borrow the car? Oh yeah, we passed creepy hour. Like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, the Trans Am. Although I understand the Trans Am belongs to Fiona at the moment.
Well, hopefully not, because that involves me dying. Oh, Jade, you're back. I hope. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
You can?
No, I can't.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys can hear her?
Yes.
How can you guys get her and I can't?
I can't hear
Oh,
her.
now I can. Wait, now would you? Jade, go ahead.
Okay. What's
Oh, I
the
can
volume
now.
like?
It's okay.
Yeah, good.
You're all good now, Jade. So say
Do
what
you
were
want
gonna say.
do you want to weigh in on the topic of the hangout rather than our family dyslexic problem we have or whatever dysfunctionality of our
Yeah.
family?
This channel's going to get flagged for sexual
Okay.
innuendo, objectifying,
Incest.
granny sex, you name it. We're done for.
We've already talked about sex with dogs. We talked about sex with my
Mhm.
brother Red's here. You know,
Beautiful
he's just a
dogs,
cousin.
by the way.
What?
Thank you, Jade. I remember, yeah. They aren't beautiful to look after, but I do
You
love
got
them
some,
both.
Yeah, we're all
They're
animal
both
lovers.
rescued and a nightmare.
That's one thing we all. I don't know anybody in this group that isn't really an animal lover. I mean, if they are, they're probably scared to say I hate animals. But I mean,
Well,
I don't know
think
anybody who's
anyone
actually said.
I don't think anyone naturally hates animals. I think some people just don't like them because they haven't been brought up with them, so they're nervous around them, or they've been attacked. And but I don't think it's a thing to hate animals. And
Well, I
if
can
you
say
do,
like I don't like. They can say like I hate cats, but I love dogs. I can at least understand that maybe, but
Jade, if you can hear me, you're roboting really bad.
yeah,
really bad.
Jade. Fiona has got the same, completely same reaction to the Hangout name as I did. What the fuck? So yeah, it's
let's see.
Jade, your mic's really bad. You need to refresh.
Hang on, let me try something. How about now?
Yeah, it's a bit better.
So what's
Is
the
it
you
better
on this?
now?
I mean, I agree. We should let Brenda, make her case. And if I have Steve's court, I can't be the judge on it, so I'll have to let somebody else do it. But I would have Steve's court on this if she wanted
I'll
to.
be right back. Hang on.
She.
No, it's bad.
That's back again.
Of your hate
Yeah, I want to hear what Jade has to say.
crap here. God damn it.
It's so bad. It's like fine for
There it goes.
couple seconds, and then it goes to shit.
All right, I refreshed my to see if it was actually us and not her. I refreshed on my end just to see if it did anything, and it didn't change a damn thing.
It's on her end.
Okay. While she's doing that, Red, Fiona said, "Can you tell me what the horse is like that she's got arriving as a companion for?"
Oh fuck! It's not a horse. It's
a donkey.
No, it's a horse that's so small it might as well be a fucking golden retriever.
Oh, it's a Shetland pony. She's got a Shetland.
She's getting a Shetland.
Oh, they're the best. I put some great photographs up of Shetland ponies on my Facebook. You see, Red, if you had a Facebook, you'd be able to see my amazing photographs.
Every girl's dream is to have a little Shetland pony, isn't it?
Well, this I guess what this pony's name is.
Actually, every girl's dream is to have an event horse or a show jumper. But I get
the pony's name.
I would Clydesdale.
The pony's name is Freckles.
Oh God.
Oh,
you can tell that's a girl's horse.
No, I tell you what, Shetlands are the naughtiest, most aggressive ponies, other than Welsh ponies.
Yeah, she was telling me that.
They're angry, naturally angry,
What
and they're like really.
You can't even ride them unless you're 12.
No, you've got to be younger than 12. I mean, I learned to ride on a Shetland. I mean, most kids that are on farms and in horsey families learn to ride on Shetlands, and you can't really ride a Shetland after you're about 5 or 6 years old. They're really small. And the one that I've adopted at the Donkey Sanctuary is a baby, is a miniature Shetland, so a teeny tiny Shetland.
Jade, do you want to do a mic test?
Nope.
Okay. Or not.
Fiona's terrified of Shetland.
What's going on?
No, we can hear you now. You're clear.
You're clear one moment, and then you robot the next.
On your
no,
breaking up. Jade, no.
Hang on. Sometimes I notice.
I'm gonna try. Hang on, let me.
She's coming out now. Yeah. 1 minute you can hear her.
I think it has something to do with the storm that she recently had in her area.
I like that, Tyler. Shetlands are for tying bristle brushes on so they can clean the underside of a real horse. When they walk. That's so
Okay, is it better or worse?
Same.
It's bad.
Is this better?
It's pretty bad.
I do want to hear what she's got to say because I'm sure.
Me too.
Yeah, she's just as pissed off as Brenda as I am.
Well, hang on. If everybody, let's see if it has any of the bandwidth. I'm going to turn
Something
my
else.
settings all the way down to in the Hangout. Just Jade, talk for like 10 seconds.
If Freddie is being absolutely nothing.
Freddie is being a nutbag.
Hear me any better now?
Yeah, we can hear you a little better now. Try again.
Freddie.
Okay.
Oh, hear me any better now?
Yes.
Better?
Yes.
This is terrible.
The storm's here.
This is why we're all dysfunctional.
Jim Herman just said the suspense is killing me.
This better be goddamn good. I'm telling you. We have 53 people going, what the hell is Jade going to say?
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a
Oh,
cutie.
now it's too bad, mics.
Fiona's, is mine bad as well now?
God damn.
But as the storekeeper,
Stalking.
whatever,
Who's stalking?
I heard Freddie is a nutbag. That's what I heard.
unbelievable.
Okay, it's mine.
I heard Freddie is a nutbag.
Is mine
What, Jade?
okay? 'Cause you
Keep,
said two bad mics.
Jade,
you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you. Jade, we can hear you. Now,
Jade, we can always hear you. It's whether or not you were saying anything intelligible.
exactly. We have every other word.
Gloves and the monads out.
And because it's like, what the hell?
Jade, you were kind of sounding like Nadia.
This is more.
Go ahead.
Okay.
And such.
Okay, let me try something.
All right, we heard that. Let me try something. I heard that.
Who's stalky? Anyway, Fiona's put a link to the picture of her Shetland pony in the live chat if anyone wants to see it.
Well, that's nice. Okay, hang
That's
on.
better. That's much better.
Jade, but
She's gone again.
Didn't do it, God. I'm gonna try some.
okay. Poor Jade.
Oh my god. I think it comes a point where you have to say, this is not working for me tonight.
But what is it that sometimes it's so hit and miss with her?
I know. It's hit and miss.
Usually when you're roboting, it's because your bandwidth is limited. Somebody else is like sucking up your bandwidth. Have you tried resetting the router?
Oh, she's gone now.
Yeah, I was just dropping.
You may have to like literally close every single window except the Google Hangout window and plug it directly into the router.
Yeah, and watch her come in and say, maybe I shouldn't have 400 tabs open. Like Fiona. Yeah. Fiona's like, I have 300 tabs open at any given time. I don't know why, but I do.
Yep, close that porn, close that porn, close that porn.
Oh, no, you leave that one. You close the reference stuff. You leave the porn stuff open, obviously.
So Fiona has purchased herself or been given on loan a dun Shetland pony. It is the cutest thing you've seen. And I bet it's got the worst attitude as well. I can just see that. I can just tell by the look in that pony's eye.
Doctor, come on in. We'll go over it again when Jade gets here.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with Fiona about that horse, and she was telling me that she is absolutely terrified of freckles.
Why? For a little Shetland pony.
They're really aggressive. I mean, they're only tiny, but they're like the horse equivalent of Jack Russells. Like we call Jack Russells ankle biters because they'll just go for your feet or your ankles just as a.
Yeah, we call them Chihuahuas over here, ankle biters.
Yeah, so they're like that. Chihuahuas have got the same kind of attitude. They look cute, but boy, they hurt when they bite you. And
yip, 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 yip. Yeah, they got fucking sharp teeth.
Shetlands will kick you at any opportunity.
But no, I wasn't DMCA'd Anarchy. She just tried to flag a video for adult content when there's no adult content in the video.
What she was saying was that by discussing Pizzagate and by saying that as the person who was discussing it was not bringing enough evidence to the table for it, that is supporting pedophilia. But not only that, but that conversation was had on another channel that had nothing to do with Steve's channel.
Yeah, I talked about it for like 10 minutes. 10 minutes on my video, and then we moved on to other things.
And there were other people in that discussion who, and it was being held on TST. Why didn't she just flag? I mean, I'm not suggesting she should flag TST, but why didn't she flag TST? Why did she flag your channel?
I have no idea.
It's nuts.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Oh my God.
Nuts.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm on
So
my
what'd you do?
iPad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, keep it on the
It's
iPad.
my iPad.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Which of course means I can't see the chat, but that's okay.
That's
I'm
okay.
on my iPad.
People have been waiting, with great expectations to hear your chiming in of this.
So let me be sure my understanding of this. So Brenda
Sure.
flagged you for your after show, the
Correct.
show, TST after show.
Yes.
Now I was unable to watch it because I think you remember I tried to get in, it didn't work,
Yeah.
and
mhm.
then the power.
Oh no!
Oh, my power's been out.
Right at
Time.
the most important part.
Did it go out again?
Well, we're about it a little bit. Just get near your hotspot. Get near the
Okay,
router.
I am. I'm trying. Hang on. Let me. I've got an idea.
Famous last words.
Yeah, you've said that 5 times now.
Okay, how's this?
Good.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
I'm literally on top of my router. That's why we were having.
Well, we're gonna get flagged for that comment too. 'Cause,
Yeah.
What's she doing with her router? Oh my goodness.
Flagging routing. Flaggable offence.
Hey, I don't judge, man. I don't judge. Do what you got to
You
do.
know.
Using the word shag. Flaggable offence.
Yeah.
All right, Shay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's good. As I said, I wasn't able to see it because my power went out. My power has been out 4 times in the last 3 days, and the connection keeps going, and broadband went down completely. That's what happens when you have storms here. One of the funniest things is that things tended to work during the storms. It's after the storms, when the tree limbs and the trees start falling down, that we usually have problems. So she flagged you because you were saying Pizzagate was a bunch of bullshit?
I don't know if that was the reason. I do not know if that's where she was going with this. I can't.
don't know what the exact content.
Well,
of
according
that
to Mr. GBT, it was something to do with the fact that Preet had put a picture up of President Obama and his daughter and said that President Obama was a paedophile. I don't remember seeing that, but Steve.
I do remember that, and I condemned Preet for that.
I missed that part of it.
Was that a picture of his daughter or a picture of his niece?
Niece.
Yeah, see, this is actually an official White House photo, and it's President Obama with his niece. Now remember, President Obama's mother was white. His father was black from Kenya. His stepfather was from Indonesia. So his sister is half white, half Indonesian. She
Right, but the point is,
who I believe
that wasn't why she flagged it. She flagged it because she says that Obama.
No. But here's the point I'm getting to. I may be taking a while. So anyway, his sister married a man who, because of his last name, I believe, is Vietnamese. So their child is Asian, and partway. So what got some people going is, who's this strange Asian child sitting on President Obama's lap?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Okay.
But why did she flag my channel when on TST I said this? This is a perfect innocuous photo. Right. I know the one you're referring to.
Whispering something in her ear or something, and she's giggling. He may be blowing in her ear or giving her a raspberry, because that's what people do with close children. This isn't some strange child off the street. This is his niece, who he's known since she was born.
What, did you read the comment she left?
No.
Okay, let me read you the comment. Maybe you can refer, okay?
Okay.
Here's the comment. It said, quote, this is what she wrote. Flagged for adult content. You are free to promote pedophilia on your channel if you wish, but it should be flagged so that children or others can filter out objectionable content. Every time you have Preet or anyone like her on your show, I will flag your channel for that reason. Offensive adult content should not be widely promoted and available to minors. She said in here, you are free to promote pedophilia on your channel. How the fuck did she get that?
No, I hadn't heard you read that out, Steve. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, that's beyond batshit insane.
No,
I mean,
she
said that's pedo shaming.
obviously-
That's like, I don't like what's happening on your channel, so I'm going to say, oh, you guys are promoting pedophilia because you don't find what happened in Pizzagate to be a something that's investigatable. That's what I'm saying. We're all pedophiles because of that.
I realize that Brenda can be very calm. She can also put forward very logical, very sensible arguments for some things. But there is a side of Brenda that is very irrational. But this goes beyond the pale. This is something.
Yeah, before when I first said I was an anti-feminist, she was like, "Oh, I'm going nuts on me."
Doesn't like if you don't like something somebody says on a channel, you don't flag it. You either talk to that person privately, as Steve suggested, or you walk away and take a few days away from the whole thing.
You see, I don't understand. I guess maybe I'll have to watch your hangout, and maybe if Brenda could explain further. There's certainly nothing. Say these Pizzagate people are just going crazy. That's the reality. Because there's nothing wrong with that official White House photo of. Does
she believe in Pizzagate? I don't know if Brenda even believes in Pizzagate. I have no idea.
I see. This is the thing. I don't know what side she's on. I don't think she believes in Pizzagate. Is she objecting to Preet bringing up the crazy stuff?
I don't know. That's
what I think. No, I think she, in some roundabout, strange way, she feels that Preet was given a platform on another channel, not Steve's channel, on another channel, and that. Well, you were there, Jade. You were in the bloody hangout.
I was in the TST one, yeah.
Exactly. So there were 10 of you in that TST, and for some reason, Brenda has chosen to.
By the way, I want you guys to see this so you guys can. I've not deleted anything. This is exactly what's written. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want this to be on record. This is what she wrote one day ago. Flagged for adult content. You are free to promote pedophilia on your channel if you wish, but it should be flagged so that children or others can filter out objectionable content. Every time you have Preet or anyone like her on a show, I will flag your channel for that reason. Offensive adult content should not be widely promoted and available to minors. This is all there is to it. So I've not added anything. I've not changed anything, but I want this to be on record.
I mean, I can understand. I can understand the situation with Tom. There was a couple of weeks ago a very, let's just say, uncomfortable video that was displayed. And I think most people who watched it know what I'm talking about. I can understand people being offended by that, totally. But this is just.
But then you turn it off. I mean, there are times you want to.
No, Steve, I'm not. I can understand that there's a good reason behind that because it was offensive. Okay?
I get that. I can understand somebody wanting to flag a channel because
there is no reason here. This did not happen on your channel.
But I mean, you could, let's say, for example, like all you guys are anti-Semitic, all right? And I'm, being culturally Jewish, it doesn't really mean much to me. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm far from anti-Semitic. I'm actually very fond of Israel and Zion and stuff like that. But I wouldn't be like, I'm going to flag the channel. I'd be like, you know what? I just don't want to be in here. I don't want to hang out with you people if you guys are going to just be anti-Semitic, right?
Excuse me. Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I found that particular hangout that Tom had really difficult to deal with, and I switched it off, and I'm no longer watching Tom's channel anymore. The idea of flagging his channel wouldn't even come into my head.
Exactly.
Now,
I mean, I would never flag Tom's channel for anything he has on there. That's his.
No, that goes a little too far.
Okay. I will say that some of the conversations we have are very adult, and I think that if someone, said, if someone thought, well, maybe this should be, rated adults only, I'd leave a comment and say, hey guys, given what's on this hangout, I think you should probably rate it adults only. But I wouldn't flag it. I just
that's fine. I know which needs to be really, I have nothing that's 18 and plus. Nothing.
Oh, come on. I mean, to be fair, there's so much worse on the internet.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying if I thought something should be adults only, I just tell the person.
But we weren't. I mean, having a conversation about pedophilia, and there was nothing. All it was talking about the chances of Pizzagate being true. There wasn't anything about. There was no details about pedophilia. There was no sexual content in that conversation. I mean, it was because it just blows my mind that Brenda has gone that far and has lost her mind, in my opinion.
Well, I don't get it. How do you? It says you are free to promote pedophilia. What the fuck? I don't even know how to parse that. Who the fuck is promoting? I would ban somebody so fucking fast if I thought they were into that shit.
Yeah. So I mean, But did she also flag TST? I wonder.
I don't know. Did she think? I mean, she must have thought JD was promoting pedophilia by having Preet on, but I don't get that because we're all against Preet on this issue.
Yeah, we are. And
Nobody agreed with Preet.
But that's the point, though, Steve. Because we're against Preet.
Again, is that what it is? Does she side with Preet? No, she can't.
I
Because
don't think
she
she does.
She doesn't side with Preet. I think maybe it's just she thinks that if you're giving Preet a platform, you're promoting the idea of Pizzagate.
Thank you.
But we
then
have
what's
done nothing but
what I'm
talk
saying. This is what's
against
so
it.
confusing is that the whole panel was pointing out all the weakness in Preet's claims. So I get the logic. I get the logic. So basically, by allowing Preet to discuss it, even the who's that?
Hey, guess what I just got in the mail? My roommate just delivered to me.
Oh,
Fuzzy Ronald's Dinosaur Blood. Hang on. Dinosaur Blood and the Age of the Earth by Fuzz Rana. He sent to me free from our Reasons to Believe.
Oh wow!
Because he wanted me to read it and give he liked the fact, I guess, that I give a pretty fair critique to his other one that I read excerpts. But I'm actually going to read this whole thing start to finish, and I am going to do a very fair thing on it. And I'm just looking through right now, and I'm like, yes, it actually looks pretty decent. So he said, I trust you to do a fair review, and I'm like, well, that's awesome. So yes, I will do.
I've got a hashtag for this whole drama. Do you want to hear it?
All right.
Yeah, I love hashtags. Where are we going to start?
So fucking funny. I'm just so clever. Pizzagate.
Oh no!
Pizzagate. No, I thought it was funny that somebody had. I didn't come up with somebody in the live feed did. I just ran with it, but they're like pretty crazy, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Preet's arguments were very weak, and you know, I get that she's passionate. So am I. I think everybody who loves children, which is most people, is passionate about protecting children. But those of us that have been victims at the hands of pedophiles are even more so, disturbed by what may or may not be going on. But most of Preet's suggestions and arguments were so weak. I think that there are some questions there, and I think it should be looked at. But the idea that it hasn't, this is the thing. She was claiming that it hasn't been investigated. No one's bothering to take any notice. It's all being covered up. There has been an investigation, and they haven't found anything.
Right. Both the Washington D.C. police and the FBI have investigated, and they've found nothing. There's no evidence of anything going on.
And
the whole thing started on 4chan from people looking through Podesta's emails and finding things that they thought were suspicious. And some of these things they thought were suspicious were even misspelled, because it looks like most of these were sent on a phone. And you know how easy it is to misspell things or get
all the different evidences are so weak and so ridiculous.
Her evidence got shot down bit by bit, and you notice every time she's like, well, there's more. I'm like, well, you just spewed out like 4 or 5 things, and each one of them got shot down. By the way, Christina, please feel better. Don't die on us, because that would be bad.
Okay. Yeah. Although it might bring views to have a witch die on your live hangout, though.
We could turn into a sacrifice. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? It's funny you bring that up, Christine. Okay, look at. Should somebody get offended, like, oh, Steve, you have a witch in your hangout, I'm gonna flag your channel.
Yeah,
and again, I've had Satanists in my channel, and I actually might even have another one I'm thinking about inviting on, Alan LeVay's daughter. So, it's like,
oh, serious?
Yeah,
her
name's
really insulting. It's really insulting to us, actually, when you think about it, that she would flag a conversation by people like Steve and Jade and Fiona and people like that. Some of the most respected people in this community. What is she suggesting, that you guys support pedophilia? I mean, that's what she's
that's what that says in there. She says, "Oh, you can promote pedophilia on your channel." I'm like, where? Can you name me one instance on my channel where that's ever been anybody promoting?
There is
anybody.
I'm going to have to go myself in a minute, because I do have to be up really early. I've got a very long day tomorrow. But I just want to say something before I do. Completely off topic, but I'm very proud it's a British man that seems to be bringing the president-elect of the United States down. That's all I'll say. Leave it to the Brits to sort your problems out for you.
Yeah.
They could have prevented all of this, but y'all had to rebel.
What you done did?
Yeah.
Well, we need all the help.
Sooner or later.
Annabelle.
I-
Annabelle.
Oh no, I'm not going just yet. I just wanted
okay.
to throw that in before I did go.
Oh, she's like, no, I'm not going just yet.
No, I do have to go. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I've got to be up at 7:30. So I am. Yeah. Somebody just said, "What do you mean? What do you mean? You thought I was a witch?"
No, me.
No.
I'm
No,
talking.
she's looking at the live chat.
I just looked at the live chat and somebody put, I thought Annabelle was a witch. No, there are a certain bunch of little creepos that call me a witch, but I'm not actually a witch. So.
If you're a witch,
it's been proven that Annabelle is not a witch. We weighed her versus a duck, and you can build a bridge out of her. She's not made of wood.
Oh, I'm not saying.
We haven't really officially tested that theory out. We really probably should.
Well, no, it's because you build bridges out of stone. Come on.
No, the wall of China was built upon people. Actually, people were actually put in there.
It was just rocks and people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rocks and people. It's mostly mud brick.
People have to realize that that they can't, just because Annabelle speaks with an accent and speaks her mind, that she's the witch when I'm the one that's got the pentacle on the screen. Come on, guys, get it right.
I don't sink in water. I float. I've got plenty of fat on me. Let me tell you. I've got my own rubber ring, literally.
Yeah, I do too, unfortunately. But right now, I wouldn't want to go swimming. It's Minnesota, and I was supposed to be -15 today, and no, I'm staying indoors.
I would just like to say we had an amazing weather phenomenon happen in the UK today. It was breaking news everywhere. The whole country came to a stop. Can you guess what happened?
What?
No? We had 0.0001 centimeter of snow.
Oh, so you had light dusting.
Yes.
Really?
But honestly, the whole of my Facebook and my Instagram was just full of pictures of a light dusting of snow. Everyone was so excited. But Renee, I don't know, some of you may know Renee, some of you may not, but she's somebody I'm very close to. And she is up in Scotland at the moment with Angus, and they made a snowman because they did get a ton of snow up there. So it was her first ever snowman. She made it look like me. It looked crazy.
In America, when we say dusted, that means you're actually like wasted off PCP. Just FYI.
Okay, dusted means that it's hardly any. I mean, I just looked outside because it has suddenly the temperature's dropped considerably, and everywhere's white, but it's only it's literally a small amount of a centimeter, not even a centimeter. But it's just funny the way the Brits respond to snow.
Basically, Steve, it's t-shirt weather in Canada.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's raining here all day.
That's next week. It's going to be -10 degrees Celsius here for some reason.
So it's short weather.
Yeah, no, it's literally going to be t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm worried about is tomorrow morning I've got to be up and out by 8 o'clock, and it's going to be like an ice rink out there because we had all this water and it's now frozen because we're down to -2 at the moment. And so it's all frozen, and I live on an island full of hills and roads that are not gritted. So I'm not looking forward to my morning drive. Sorry, I'm boring everybody. I do apologize.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? We weren't paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you.
I'm just sitting here making chainmail, so.
Actual blowjob out the window.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the first time I fucked up a good blowjob.
You got to use a little more tongue, Steve.
Not receiving, not giving. Fuck you.
What, you don't give me?
No, I don't think I've ever given one that I'm aware of.
You've never given
I'm probably pretty good at it with this ticklish mustache.
I'm sorry, you've never gone down on a woman?
No, I never. Yeah, yes, of course. Jesus Christ.
Blowjob here.
Of course I've got.
Okay, sorry. No, don't talk about sex. Don't talk about sex. We'll get flagged.
Shit, I've got like 20 ex-girlfriends on my Facebook. Yeah, I trust me. It's one thing I do well, actually.
I'm sorry, Steve. You broke up there. All I heard was I got 20 ex-girlfriends on my face.
Yeah. Coconut baby is made out of chocolate cake.
Oh God.
See, the follow-up question would be like, well, if you're so good at it, why are they your ex? Good point.
Well, you had to move on to the next one, right?
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? I've had a lot of exes, but I get along with all of them. Just shit happens, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Restraining orders will do that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the sign of the times. I mean, 20 years ago, you wouldn't have had a whole lot of exes because you'd have had to be married.
Yeah, because I never got married. I played the field for like.
But now we just if we are not happy, I mean, some people suggest that's a good thing. Others suggest it's because people don't work at marriage anymore. But I suggest if you're not happy in a relationship, then you're entitled to walk away.
Fuck yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yes.
Yes.
There should be no obligation whatsoever on either
me,
part,
so
other than if you have children, and then you do need to work a bit harder at the relationship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my mom's walked away after we tried for a year. We were together 5 years. The last year we tried, it just didn't work.
But you did try those
yeah,
things.
now,
if you're in a relationship with someone or no commitment,
we didn't have kids, right?
You should be able to walk away. But if you have children,
it's hard to walk away. I mean, I was with somebody 5 years and I had to leave. I mean, I had to walk away because I mean, she just.
Well, I had to walk away from a man that I was still very much in love with, and that is probably the hardest thing I've done in my life.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but he was abusive, and I had to get my brain out of being the lifelong victim I already was, and it actually was the best move in my life. Now I'm married to my best friend and the sweetest person I could ever be the happiest with, and yeah, I just, you know,
my ex wasn't abusive. He had addiction issues, and so did I. And I was dealing with mine, and he couldn't deal with his. So I knew if I didn't walk away, he would drag me down with him. Saying that, I've never met anyone that made me feel the way he did since. And so unless you know, it's very difficult when you've loved someone like that. If you don't feel that, if that never happens again, it's very difficult to get involved with somebody.
Yeah, I had that. I was very much in love with somebody who died in the Gulf War back in 91 or 92 when it ended. And that still is something I've had a very hard time still dealing with to this day.
What branch was he in?
He was in the Army.
Really? Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, and I was, you know, I was pretty young, and instead of us getting engaged, I had to sing at his funeral, and that was just the worst thing for me. So, yeah, I know what that's like. But I managed to find love again, and, you know, I never gave up the romantic idea that romance exists and people can have true love.
It works
Yeah.
for some.
Yeah. True love as you wish. Princess Bride, I guess that's part of why I never gave up on true love.
Yeah, this
Keep
got depressing
trying.
fast.
You'll find it one of these days somewhere. The poor idiot's probably stuck in a tree somewhere, but you'll have to. What?
Where did you go?
Where? Oh, am I the one that's stuck in the tree, or what?
Where did you just go?
What was
What
what?
were you doing, Red? What were you doing for the last 20 minutes?
Sleeping.
Of course you were.
No, listen, I was actually sleeping in my chair right now. Okay, all right, hang on. How do I turn this webcam on but not show my face?
Why don't you just show your face so everybody knows how hot you are?
Oh, for fucking.
Because G-Man, that's why.
Yeah.
I just so everybody knows in public, and it was said here that Steve will shave his entire Santa beard off if I give him a blowjob.
I would still consider this. Yeah. It's up for review, but you know.
Right, Steve, you when we all meet up in New York, as if you're going to go, nah, I don't feel like it, Annabelle.
Oh, I wouldn't turn you down. No.
You could put my paper bag over my head. I wouldn't mind.
No,
No.
I'm sure the back of your head is very attractive.
Annabelle, you're stealing my paper bag.
Okay, you could put a paper bag over my head, Steve, and pretend I was Nevin.
There we go. There we go.
No,
never doesn't give blowjobs. Nevin is clean and pure. Stop that. Nevin has never gone down on a man, period.
I don't believe that.
She's pure and innocent.
No, she doesn't. No, a lot of what she does is purely what's the word? Not physical. It's only for people to look at. She doesn't actually touch any of her customers or have anything to do with them.
That.
So actually, there's an element of truth that she doesn't really do that sort of thing. But I'm pretty sure that if Nevin comes across as someone to me that if she does like someone, although that's not very often, because if you can imagine having to deal with the kind of men she has to deal with every day.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some lucky dude out there. I get it.
Yeah, I'm saying that she has been in love. She fell in love with an English guy. She came over here and stayed with him for a while. She lived not just down the road from where I am. So yeah, she has fallen in love. She's capable of love. It's just that I can imagine being surrounded by creepos like she is every day. It's kind of
it would be nuts.
Basically, the moral of the story is keep trying. You'll find Prince Charming. He's probably stuck in the tree, but that's beside the point.
The moral of the story is give up now. That way you can be happy later.
Give up now. Well, I people don't believe me, but I really like being single. I really do. I'm not completely single. In fact, I've met another guy recently who I really, really like, but he's only 5'6", and I just really struggle with that.
Because that's too short for you?
Oh, because I'm 5'7", so I kind of, and I wear heels, so I'm sort of, I feel like a giant.
And I'm just sitting here being 6'6".
Yes, I know. Well,
that's just way too tall, man.
No, it's actually there was a guy in front of me in the supermarket yesterday or the day before who was clearly way over 6 foot, and I just was standing there looking at him, thinking, Red's that's how tall Red is, and it's not that much of a deal, really. Not if someone is as good looking as Red is, anyway.
Oh wow! Here we go. I'm never going to hear the end of it.
Welcome to the I Love Reds channel.
Oh, I love that. Dragnot is so right. You've got to meet that special guy.
Good thing that we're not one of those types of guys that get kind of like insecure around other people.
Yeah. Dragnot just said you've got to meet that special guy who you want to grab you by the back of the head. He's so true.
Drag! Oh my god!
But it's kind of true. Funny. You do want to meet the special, and that's why I like this guy that I'm seeing at the moment, because even though he's 5'6", he's got little man syndrome. He's really, really confident and really, bolshy, and that makes me attracted to him because he's confident. So, and I told this to Red. It's all about the confidence. Men who are confident, it doesn't really matter. I won't say the ugly men are, that it does matter. There's got to be some physical attraction. But if a man is confident, that is so sexually appealing. Well,
I was going to say, Nephilim Free's confident in his.
No, he's not.
He's confident that he's right.
Hey, it takes a lot of confidence to wear those headphones.
Hey, you know what? I look at it this way: as long as I know there's somebody like Nephilim Free in the world, then there's one last person that will get laid before me. Yeah. I mean, if there's the only two guys in the world left, at least I would have a chance then. So
didn't Nephilim marry Sharon?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Annabelle! If you were like, there's no men left in the world. Everybody's been eaten by zombies. I got Steve and I got Neffy. Yeah, Neffy, let's go repopulate the earth. I'd be like, what the fuck?
I like this. Annabelle.
Well, they did it in the Bible, Steve.
The zombies get you at that point, by the way. Just FYI.
Yeah. I like this one. Annabelle is dating a manlet.
A mini man.
He is actually a lot older than me, actually, but he doesn't look it, so I don't care. Anyway, I'm enjoying his company for the moment. But Steve, if you shaved off your beard or just had a what you call those things, the short ones? Oh God, what are they called?
Goatee.
Goatee. If you had a goatee,
I did. I shaved. You seen me?
You didn't. You just trimmed off the Santa beard slightly.
Oh, no, so that's how it works. Hang on. So
I shaved everything but the goatee.
Okay, hang on. Just for my reference. Apparently, Dragnot's giving some tips, and it says, just whisper in her ear. Do you like to be choked or have your hair pulled?
I like to have my hair
record, Steve's old photo here. It's not a goatee. It's a Van Dyke.
Didn't you see it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Steve, and I did my camera.
That picture is not you currently. In that picture, you look hot, but you're not looking like that right now because you've got this mass of pubic hair on your chin.
No, I shaved the sides of the neck, but I can't turn my camera on. Oh, I guess I have to go through XSplit.
Just put.
I don't know
Just
if
to
this
prove
is
that you're not telling the truth.
you saw me. I shaved it just as a goatee. Did you see my? Didn't you see it the other day?
That wasn't a goatee. You have left half of it on your chin.
The goatee's this long.
You don't have a long goatee. A goatee is barely there. It's just, on your chin and on your
It's a
your
long
lip.
goatee in the front. That's all it is. That's what Dragnon had.
I'll just rephrase what you don't look that hot with a long goatee. You look much better with a short goatee.
I know, but I want a long one.
Why?
I'll bend one long one.
Steve,
Oh.
Steve, remember when I had really long hair and I thought it was a really good idea?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I used to have very long hair, and I thought it was a good idea, and then people said I look like Jesus, and then I decided
And you
enough
listen
was
to them.
enough.
What is wrong with you? You should.
Better with
I
short hair.
I want long hair. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Gonna fight with the razor blade.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone else knows this, but apparently Brenda flagged Tom's hangout as well.
Yep,
Yeah, that was a while ago, unless she did it again.
probably
Well,
did
is that
again.
why Tom hasn't been having hangouts? Because he's been DMCA'd.
No, Tom couldn't have been DMCA'd, and if he was, that'd be
Why couldn't he?
well. She could,
That's-
but that'd be easy to
Well, really?
submit a counterclaim.
That's not what you do in order to flag somebody for
Doctor.
content. That's just if it's copyright.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because people will do it anyway, even though look at what happened with Tommy Sotomayor with the drunken peasants.
Yeah.
They were out of
But
action.
there's a
for 3
difference.
weeks.
There's supposed to be a difference between DMCA and flagging a video for
I know
content.
there's a difference.
Hang on.
But
Can I answer Jim's question in the chat? Red, how do you weigh? I usually put shit on a scale and it pops out a number.
okay, let me explain. Okay, there are assholes out there that will DMCA just based on somebody playing some music or a video in just as a way to get at the person whose channel it is, and that's what happens a lot of the time, and that's why it's abused. Now, it takes YouTube a while to look at the situation and to rectify it. And in the case of Tommy Sotomayor with DP, it took them 3 weeks. And all they did was use their own material that he had used on his channel. So it was that crazy. But yet
Yeah,
they still got taken down for 3 weeks.
Yep, I've heard about the YouTube system not being super up
It's
to
terrible.
par.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyone can DMCA you for any reason. And yes, of course, they'll put you back up as soon as they realize it was a false DMCA. But it's not the point. The point is people can DMCA you for any reason if they feel like it.
I had somebody-
Yeah, but I think Steve was flagged, not DMCA'd.
No,
Yeah,
we
there's
know
a
If
that.
you're DMCA'd,
Flag
you
the
have to,
video.
you get an
Doctor,
immediate
I know
notification.
that. Doctor, I know that. I wasn't talking about Steve.
I
Anyways,
know I got flagged for my own singing of my older recording on my channel of Scarborough Fair. They tried to say that I was using somebody else's voice while I was standing in my kitchen singing into my iPhone.
Wow.
I haven't had that happen with the latest one that I recorded a couple
I'd
weeks ago.
say I'd say you could argue it's a little bit scummy, but I mean technically they could be right since you don't own the song.
Yeah, but nobody owns the song. It's an old
Nobody.
Scarborough Fair. That's an oldie, like 1700s, 1600s.
Public domain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in
Yeah.
that case, yeah.
Now you probably could argue that someone has a copyright on an arrangement, but not on
Yeah.
the composition itself.
And not only that, but the fact that they tried to say that I was using a recording of somebody else. That was the complaint.
Well, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and I had to say to YouTube, have you looked at my other videos where I sing? I do sing. So just not today because I'm sick.
Well, I mean, I sing sometimes when no one is watching and hearing.
I've been on stage a lot, so.
Well, you have now. Don't take this the wrong way, and Steve, you're probably gonna get flagged for this, but you have bigger balls than I do.
No, I just got bigger cleavage.
the first thing wouldn't get you flagged. Maybe the second thing would.
Hey,
I
I'm
can't
talking
be
about my
on
own
stage.
cleavage.
Yeah, you can't show unless you're off air. Sorry.
I can't. I can't do stage. I just can't be on stage in front of people. I get a panic attack.
So I mean, what exactly got
And
flagged?
they'd run away and scream as well, Red.
Like, there's one of his videos that got flagged, but what did? Because
Hey, by the
there's just
way,
a hangout.
Hey, can you see? Look at all that shade. I just kept this. That's all.
Okay.
See, this got. Hang on, I'm just gonna.
What am I doing?
I'm going for the guru look.
No, I was going to say Colonel Sanders.
What exactly?
Colonel Sanders.
Ow! Oh, that's just cruel.
Low blow.
What
Kentucky
exactly
Fried
got
Chicken.
flagged
I'm
on
finger
Steve's
licking good,
channel?
buddy.
It was good, Steve. A white suit, a string tie.
Yes, I look
Yep.
great. Thank you.
Okay, hey, what? Can anyone read what John just posted in the chat? Thank you, John. Finally, somebody understands.
Yeah, that could petrify the crowd. Yeah, Red's is so
Oh,
ugly,
really?
like a gorgon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crap.
if that was the video that got flagged, if it's the one I'm thinking about, I was actually thinking to myself that, I'm not surprised somebody flagged you for that. I was even thinking I didn't want to see that.
Wait, you're not.
Which
wait, you're
video are you referring to?
Wait, you're not.
If that was the video, if the one that doctor just posted in the side chat.
I didn't post any video.
What are you
but I
talking
just
about?
gave a brief summary of. He was basically.
No, I was
flagged.
asking which. Okay, I was asking which video got
The video,
Steve
the
got
Talking
flagged
Shit
for.
Tuesday after show on Pizzagate. That was like lasted about 15 minutes.
Oh, so it wasn't your video, or it actually was stuff shown and all that.
No,
No.
Just talking about.
I
it
have
got
nothing
flagged.
on my channel that's flaggable.
No, you don't.
How about that one video?
No,
where where that person showed a whole bunch of pictures and stuff,
of what?
Can I just say also it's Scarborough.
like underage people.
Can I
What are
also
you talking
say,
about?
Can I also
Remember that? I don't know if you guys don't know if that's on your channel or whatnot, but there's
Well,
a
you better make
whole
damn
talk
sure if you're
about
accusing.
Pizzagate.
If you're saying something being on my channel, you better make sure it's on my channel. So, what video are you talking about that's supposedly on my channel?
There was a video where a whole bunch of people were talking about, like, say you guys in the community, a bunch of people were talking about Pizzagate, and someone was actually screen sharing, trying to show it was all legit about look how creepy all these pictures are.
Yeah, but that's not flaggable.
Yeah, I mean, Jade may have shown some pictures. I don't know. I don't think that was my channel. We have talked about it before, but I don't know if that's the one. Jade.
TST, wasn't it? Wasn't it TST when somebody brought up the? I mean, there wasn't
because pictures.
Steve, I remember. Steve, it was when Mark came into the hangout. Do you remember?
Was it a mine?
Do you remember Mark came in and defended it, and there was other people.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sorry, but so what? That's not flaggable.
No,
it's a discussion.
Yeah, and that art that Jade had mentioned before, I know those photos. I find them to be very sad and depressing.
Available all over the internet. It's what it was proving a point that the idiocy of their claims by saying that because somebody has a picture of themselves with their niece or nephew on Facebook, that makes them a pedophile. It's ridiculous.
Right.
There's pictures of me with my niece on Google Plus and on Facebook.
My mom still has baby pictures of me when I was 6 months old.
I am
and
phoning the
naked.
authorities right now.
Yeah, I was. My mom has taken nude pictures of me. You know.
Right. Can I need to say this because it's bugging me. Okay. Christina, it's Scarborough there, not
Scarborough.
Scarborough.
Scarborough. Okay.
Yeah, not Scarborough. No, we
All
don't
right.
Scarborough. We it's like Edinburgh, not
Not
Edinburgh.
Scarborough either.
Yeah, but Annabelle, you also add vowels to the word aluminum.
I'm just pointing out how we pronounce
and color.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, I like to with some of the music be able to do the proper accent. Like when I did Shui Laroon, trying to learn the Gaelic was a nightmare. But
you do a Danny
I
boy?
like to be able to.
the only person that I can
proper.
Gus will never forgive me for this, but I think his English accent is horrific. But the only person who has a brilliant English accent and does it so well is Ocean.
Gus has a pretty good Scottish accent. He sounds like Matt Bell a little bit.
He has a good drunken, funny Russian accent. It makes me laugh.
He
Good
does.
information. We can have somebody
He does
that can do
fantastic.
that can do
He does
Annabelle.
fantastic stuff. I mean, he's my, he makes me laugh.
Ooh! I can do an accent that'll fool a G-man.
The only question is, who are you going to vote for dumb fuck of the year?
Yeah.
And by the way, yay, we did. You know what? Sorry, guys. I know it's already been like 2 weeks. We haven't really discussed it yet, but we will get to it eventually. It's just not high on our priority to talk about fucking Ronnie this year. And
Christina, apparently Heretic pronounces it Scarborough.
I call it Scarborough too, but I know.
Everybody else in England pronounces it Scarborough. So I don't know why he does that. Perhaps it's because he's an idiot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't there a song by
yeah, I'm just saying that Scarborough is
Annabelle. Loughborough is pronounced Luga Baruga in Australia.
Loughborough.
It was like it was like
it's
Melbourne.
not that we
People
don't say
call that
borough.
Melbourne. It's Melbourne.
Pronounce the borough. We don't say borough, as in the only place we actually do say borough is in a part of London that's called Borough, and we say borough. We don't say
Simon
borough.
Garfunkel. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name of the group. Simon Garfunkel.
Yeah.
Scarborough Fair.
Yeah. So let's see.
Yeah, is that an American? Is that an American song?
What?
Actually, you did it, Scarborough Fair. You didn't say Scarborough Fair. You said Scarborough Fair.
Simon and Garfunkel said it that way though.
How they say it? Scarborough or Scarborough?
Scarborough.
You guys just said two different things. It's 2 syllables or 3.
Yeah.
They do it as Scarborough.
I thought they did too. It sounds like 3 to me.
I'd like anybody. I'd like Heretic to introduce to any Yorkshireman that says, by gum, I've been to Scarborough Fair.
No. I get you. I mean, it probably is 2, but they pronounced it as 3.
Doesn't matter what I say. He's always got to tell me that I'm wrong. So I'm just pointing out that he's full of shit.
The only thing we all agree upon is fuck the English.
Because he comes from Yorkshire, therefore I don't know anything. I'm just an idiot, and he knows what he's talking about. And that just
okay. Everybody in the live chat is saying 3 syllables.
Right. Yeah, but that's because isn't it? But that's my point. Isn't it sung by an American?
Yeah, at that point it is.
Yeah,
so let me give this a shot with 2 syllables. I wasn't talking about the song. I was talking about the name of the song. I don't even remember. I'm just saying because you said when we talked, you said Scarborough.
Oh, call it anything you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Steve, what if this
I
comes
think
down
this is
to
a
case of
conversation that could
linguistic
easily
riff?
have to be
I call
moving
it. You know what? You're going to flag my channel, aren't you, Annabelle? If you don't have your way.
No, I'm not going to. Heretic's the one that had the.
I always pronounce the Scarborough. Now again, I don't care.
Heretics gets his knickers in a twist over anything I fucking say. So if anyone's going to flag the channel, it's going to be that prick.
Okay, all right. I'm going to solve this right now because I worked it out in my head. Let's see if I could get the first line out without hacking. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? It works with 2 syllables.
It does, but that's not how they sing it.
Pronounce it, Scarborough. We don't say Scarborough.
Now you're just making it Mexican.
Scarborough. We say Scarborough. But then,
and most of the time, guys, I sound a lot better, and I would sing that up 3/4 of an octave.
Any English person other than Heretic, and they will confirm it's not pronounced like that. But
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm only saying that
I'm a dude.
Saying it that way.
The problem with Heretic is that he has no ability to look in the mirror at his own behavior and the way he talks to people.
Sounds like it's spelled. The end of it is spelled the exact same way as our next as the county I'm currently in, which is Hillsborough County. So we actually
Scarborough is 2 syllables, not 3.
Yeah.
Thank you. At last.
I just sang it.
I agree. Okay. We're all in agreement. Yes, I think Animal's right. But the way all I was saying is that Simon and Garfunkel, I remember that the way they sang it.
Yeah.
Was 3 syllables.
Pronunciation shit is
But it's already. It's originally.
I am correct. I just pointed it out, and all hell's let loose because Heretic, as usual, has to have a little dig and create a little shitstorm because he doesn't like me. That's all this is about.
But I don't think either one's right or wrong. I just think that it is.
It's a pronunciation issue.
The locals are going to call it the way Animal's saying. Just like in Australian, the locals call it Melbourne, right? But people in America tend to call it Melbourne. Why, I don't know, but it's Melbourne. I have always called it Melbourne, but I've been there. But some people still call it Melbourne, right? Melbourne, Australia, but it's actually Melbourne.
Yeah, and the Scarborough Fair was Middle English to begin with, but it came from an obscure Scottish ballad called "The Elfin Knight." So, I mean, the song is old.
And this is why we can't have nice things. You all are dysfunctional. Anyways, hey, Hogtie's in the live, so maybe Hogtie can give us we can give a recap for him about what's been going on as far as my channel being flagged again, Hogtie. This time by Brenda for talking about Pizzagate, and I think not agreeing with Pizzagate. I don't know if that's the actual reason, but she flagged my channel because we were discussing it, and that any channel that has Preet Wilson on, she's going to flag just because they have Preet on.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Before we drop it completely, Tyler said the Simon and Garfunkel song is played in harmony with the canticle, so the pronunciation is changed to fit canticle.
I have no idea.
Exactly. Actually, do you know what? The great thing is I've actually got a video that tells you how to pronounce Scarborough properly. And of course I'm right. Sorry about that, heretic. And I'm going to put it into the live chat.
Sorry about that, heretic, but I'm fucking right. So fuck
yeah,
you.
exactly.
What's depressing for me is I learned Shularoon according to the way they had done it for Riverdance. Now I have to learn it again because the pronunciation and the rhythm changes because it's slowed down for Clenad. And so I have to relearn most of the song and adjust the Gaelic accordingly, and that's going to be a pain in the butt.
But now all the 3-syllablers are out there are going to flag my channel because we're 2-syllablers in here, and the 2-syllablers are going to flag my channel because the song has it as 3 syllables. So, yeah. All you fucking 3-syllablers, go fuck off.
Please get past this. Holy crap.
Okay, I'm done.
This is probably the dumbest conversation this year.
Pronounce
Okay, I have an important question.
I'd like to just say something. I have, in fact, put Brett Keane in timeout because he's in your live chat threatening to flag your channel based on the fact he doesn't like me. So I've just
see this. Okay, that's good because and I don't care if what you do with Brett Keane, but here's the thing. This is no different than Brenda saying I'm going to flag your channel because I have Preet in there. So somebody says I'm going to flag your channel because you have Annabelle in there. Who is somebody to tell me who I can and cannot have in my room? By the way, Preet's only been here I think once ever, and that was a long time ago. But she wasn't in here recently. But why would that matter? Who's in here? You cannot flag a channel because you don't like the people that are in there. That's not a flaggable offense because you're a little.
You can, but there would be repercussions.
Yeah, I mean you can try. Yeah, I don't mind people false flagging because I've never had an effect on me. It only has an effect on them. But Hogtie, so do you get the gist of what's going on?
I didn't know that person be the type person to do that kind of thing.
Well, Brett Keane's he's a has-been.
No, not him.
Nobody pays attention to him anymore.
Okay.
No, explaining to him basic evolutionary concepts. He couldn't handle it, so he.
Let me give you a brief synopsis of what it's like talking to Brett Keane. Imagine a hemorrhoid. I'm done.
Oh. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're yelling at Freddie.
Yeah.
I had trouble turning my mic back on, partly because Freddie's annoying me. So I have a really serious question, though. Are you guys big enders or little enders?
I don't know. I'm not a bell ender.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Not a clue.
The education in this country sucks.
Well, at least we've
known about. Welcome to reality. It's a bitch, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
Hogtie, you can hear us.
So what was?
Okay,
ask the question again, but in context.
For those of you who missed it, there are these 2 countries in Gulliver's Travels that went to war over which end of a soft-boiled egg you opened first. The big end or the little end?
Mm-hmm. Well, clearly the little end.
Clearly, so you're a little ender, okay? Any big enders in here?
Well, Jade, that would all depend on the shape of the egg cup.
I've never paid attention.
A good point. That's
because
point.
You put the
generally the egg cup fits the fat end of the egg.
Yes. And you just cut off the top, and then you have a soft-boiled egg.
Oh
And then
yeah.
also, the curvature of the shell, as it tapers in, keeps the gooey center part of the egg in the egg, not forming a bowl that lets it spill out.
Mm-hmm.
In any profound conversation about the nature of free will, a person wonders whether or not you can choose to open the big end or the little end first.
I think it's predetermined.
But see, Hogtie, you're creating a false dichotomy. You can open the egg from the side.
You can open from the side. But
third option.
Let's go.
Don't open it all.
Let's go to someone. Oh yeah, just eat them shells and all. I'm a tough guy. You gotta watch that though. It's tough sledding on the can the next day, but yeah, tough sledding on the can.
Oh my God! I almost spewed my pop on the desk. Thanks.
Christine's spewing.
Yeah,
but let's gonna hang out when she's spewing.
Let's turn to the creature who clearly has no free will in this decision, and that is the chicken. Which way does the egg come out first? Big end first or little end first, or is it random? It happens differently for different birds at different lays.
I've raised chickens.
Actually, the chicken lays the egg the fat end first, doesn't it?
Sweet cochlea.
You can tell which end came out first because which is the shittiest. Sometimes they're not shitty at all. But I've never bothered to notice.
See, I'd put my money on if anyone in the room would know this would be Jade. But no, I'll tell you. I was going to answer, but we'll let that hang. I do like the word cloaca. We used to watch. My wife and I used to watch. I don't know why, but it was one of the which is it Justice League? Okay, there was a cartoon about 10 years ago that had Hawk Girl, and she was dating the Green Lantern, like the black Green Lantern, and
Justice League.
Justice League, it was, yeah.
Yes.
But I remember at one point it was really character driven. I found it really boring. It was kind of not enough action, very character driven. And they were in some sort of romantic relationship, and they had some problem in this episode. And then they made up, and then they had this sort of kissy scene towards the end of it. And I turned to my wife and I said, "Hey, do you think Hawk Girl takes it in the cloaca?"
It's even dirtier than that because I think you're talking about Young Justice.
Hang on. I have a serious question. What was your wife's response?
Well, she did that. She has a look that she gives me, but it's like, that's awful.
Just
that's
a look.
I can't believe you said that.
Wait. Aren't chicks called birds in England?
In the 1960s, they were, but
yeah,
no, they don't call them birds anymore. I don't know. I don't live in England, so it's a.
Yeah, so I don't know. All I know is what I learned from the Austin Powers movies. That's my window into British culture. Thanks, Steve.
Okay.
And that's going to get you flagged.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The cloaca. Well, that's what's funny about the cloaca thing is that, of course, they do, and it's not a dirty joke in any way, but it just
well, it kind of is.
It just sounds wrong. Well, they all do.
Well,
so
it's like the evils of the uvula.
Oh, that's a scary thing, right?
You have a really nice uvula, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You got to have a nice uvula to sing, right?
Yes. Oh, Steve. Oh, now we're gonna get
touch your uvula.
No, it's gonna get
flashy, boom, boom.
There was an American. I was going to say there's an American politician. I think it was one of the Longs, either Huey Long or the other one, Edgar Long. Anyway, they were very, very famous for being these big Southern blowhards. And anyway, he managed to. One of the aides in winning his election was he did a speech against his opponent, and he had this rather ignorant Southern audience. And couple of things he pointed out was this man had matriculated. And his sister was a thespian. This is actually true. And the audience went, "Oh, no, he matriculated. He has a thespian for a sister? This is actually true."
A thespian? And we're all homos, too.
Right. Oh, what was it that Ray Comfort got so upset about on what was it, Facebook? Oh,
calling him a bibliophile.
Bibliophile. Yeah,
someone called him a bibliophile.
So I did a search for uvula porn, and it turns out it's a real thing.
Well, you know what is it? The 30-second law of the internet. If there isn't a subject for porn,
No, if it exists, there's a porn of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If there isn't, somebody will make it.
It's kind of like how weenus sounds dirty.
Oh,
but
I
it's
like a
not.
hey, I got a nice weenus. I have 2 nice weenuses actually. I play tennis, man. You actually can see my weenus to stick out.
My weenus is always dry.
Yeah, it does get a little scaly every so often. You got to put cream on your weenus a lot. Yeah, Thaddeus, you're the only person I met, I think, that knows. I mean, obviously.
All right, Google, help me out here. Let's go ahead and look.
I'm a little lost. I remember the net was it the weekly estimated net usage statistics or something?
What?
Wasn't that a weekly estimated net usage statistics?
No, the weenus. The weenus
It's
is
the loose skin on the end of your elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or where your elbow is.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was some show that had the weenus is like this report that these guys had to do, and it had sort of had the same level as the famed TPS reports from whatever movie that was. I should know that.
See, I did a joke on this one time and nobody got it. I made a card with this tennis player dude, like those e-cards, and the statement on the card was, I may not be gay, but my weenus is fabulous.
Those Office Space you're talking about.
That is exactly, yes, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways,
that's
Hogtie,
right.
Back to the topic of the hangout. I'm just
turning darkly to the topic of pedophilia in the public discussion.
Yeah, so I was talking about pedophilia.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously what my channel is dedicated to.
Oh, so that's what you
I did have a thought, but why don't you catch me up first? There was something that happened on Tuesday that I did want to remark about that didn't happen in the off-air part. But why don't you tell me? So there was actually a flag. You don't know. Well, she posted a comment saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you read the comment?
No, the video description, but I hadn't seen any. I suppose if I went to that video, I would see more discussion of it.
I don't. Okay, I approved that. It actually, it had came up as spam. I approved it. It should be on the video, but when I looked at the video, it's not on there. I don't know why. I don't know if she deleted it. Or maybe it just wasn't updating. I'm having some browser problems. That's why I'm actually doing it this way, not the other way. But I did screen share the video, the message board. So I mean, this is the actual comment.
Like I was trying to say before, I didn't think Brenda would be the type to false flag something. Like I said, it's in the side chat, but basically, sure, she leans more towards the social justice side of the political, social spectrum. But I mean, that doesn't mean that every single person that's like that is gonna start false flagging people.
No, but Brenda does have particular things that do make her fly off the handle. Like if someone were to say something that could be interpreted as anti-feminist,
right?
She will irrationally respond to it, even though she's done it to me before, even though I'm a feminist.
Well, let's start here. I would be hesitant to call it a
thing. I didn't think she'd be that far on the spectrum to do something like that.
But there's a difference. When she put up the handle with me, she just said, "Hey, I don't want to watch Steve's stuff anymore." Okay, fine. I'm not a feminist. That's one thing. But to clog a channel, then say that the channel is promoting pedophilia because we're not saying Pizzagate is worthy of a major investigation, that I see nothing to it. How is that promoting pedophilia?
That's the part I'm unclear on. But I guess before we go there, let's be clear, because we're using the term false flag now, and I would want to give her this much credit. There's a whole category of flagging that hinges around, I don't like the content of this video. I don't like the fact that you spoke ill of my God or my holy book, and therefore I'm going to flag your video for, I don't know, hate speech or violence or something, right? Where it's a clear effort to, out of desperation, suppress the message by flagging it for something that it's not, and that's not something. I mean, I've heard of a couple of sketchy flaggings that Brenda's done. I mean, one of them, I guess someone had threatened her in a hangout that Tom Rabbit was hosting, and she flagged his video for this conduct of these other people. And then there's this, I think there's better ways to handle it. But I do want to distinguish it from those cases of somebody who outright false flags, just says, look, I don't want this video on the internet, so I'm going to, go all G-man on it and file a DMCA.
Yeah, when it comes to Tom's channel, though, I mean, he has some very radical people on there. So, I mean, he has to be careful with the type of content.
But I kind of disagree with you.
G-man's flagged TST a couple of times just because he doesn't like the message, right?
I call a false flag is anybody who wants to censor the video because they don't like the content. It's not because there's something actually egregious about the video itself. If you put this video in any of my videos and you put them in front of 12 rational people, okay, nobody would say that there's any kind of content that's questionable, especially anything that's promoting pedophilia, like she says. That's a false flag to me, and I use the term false flag.
Okay. Well, I just want to distinguish that, from, so there's that scenario where somebody just says, I don't like the content because it's offensive to me and my God or whatever, which happens quite a bit.
That's a false flag too.
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying that's one end of the spectrum, and then when you go further up, you got this gray area in the middle where we would make a different assessment of whether or not it sort of fit that category.
Yeah.
So if you made a compilation video of little clips of people getting hit in the nuts with various objects, somebody might look at that and say that that's lewd and sort of endorses violence. Because you're laughing.
Those are the ones that have like
people.
16 million hits, dude.
I know. Great
Those cat videos are like the most. I'm not lying. Go look. There's whole videos of people just getting hit in the nuts, and I'm like, I can't watch this. It's fucking painful.
Yeah, but it's like what I'm saying is that then you get into that weird area, like that judgment thing, where a dozen people could look at it and say, yeah, well, that's a little grown up or whatever, but no, it's not violence. Whereas another person might come along and say that is violence. Creationist Cat just put up a video yesterday or day before where he makes a joke about all the lewd cat porn. Because he's a cat, right? And he's like, oh, there's just there's this cat porn. He shows these clips of like cats that are like in piles of 3. And it's like the kitty menage a trois, and there's a scene in there that's probably 2 seconds long where it's actually in frame is an erect cat penis, and there are going to be people who see that and go, well, now that's lewd and sexual, and that's a gray area. Like I don't think people should be putting cat penis in their YouTube videos, but then again, it's a cat penis, and I'm sorry. Like I grew up in a rural area. I've seen the penises of a variety of farm animals, and it's not a sexual thing. I got to tell you,
from the very beginning, that's been my problem with I don't want to say the very beginning, but with the YouTube guidelines is that they seem very vague. Anybody can kind of use one of those things to basically flag almost any video, because it's like it opens up the doors that almost any video can be flaggable under the guidelines, depending on how strict somebody wants to watch somebody and say, oh, look at you, you just flag.
One flag doesn't do anything. If a bunch of people flag something, it goes to a view, and you have actually a community that actually watches it, and you're supposed to actually give timestamps, because they're not going to watch an 8-hour hangout, obviously. But there's nothing going to happen with this. But here we have a person who's picking upon themselves to flag videos that they find questionable because it just insults their delicate sensibilities. I can't have a person like that around in the community, at least my end of the community, my channel, the Great Debate community, the G+. I can't have anybody like that around, because they're gonna try to basically censor people. And I don't run a channel like that.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna tell me who I can and cannot have in my hangout. Right now, if she wants to defend herself, I will have a Steve's court. I can't preside over it, obviously, because my opinion doesn't matter. Because I'm involved. But if somebody like Reds wanted to, be an arbitrator, I would expect that or something. But I don't know. I don't know what she could possibly say. She's actually saying my video had adult content because it was promoting pedophilia, which is vile, disgusting, and something that I would only see from a social justice warrior who is not even. It's somebody who's. I'm more offended at the fact that I thought was a friend, right? That we've always treated with respect. We've always stood up for her. We've actually, gotten her back many times. And I mean that by we supporting her, and yet she turns around and does this. That's what I find to be really.
Well, like I said, I didn't know that they'd be on that far and on the spectrum again. Like it's okay if somebody has some more social justice warrior tendencies, but I didn't think she'd be like that extreme about it.
You're going to support her, Hawkeye?
Well, in the sense of the whole well, we're friends, we respect each other, we enjoy seeing each other in these hangouts. That doesn't mean that we have to support every decision that somebody makes, right? I think that this is one of the hallmarks of friendship. Again, we're talking about internet friendship, so let's put Cody marks around it.
But you go to the person, you
go to the person, you do. But I do also want to distinguish this from the situation that I'm thinking about on the weekend here, this last Sunday, where Holy Spackle had left some comments about the way that they were treating people in this room. They're kicking people out and just preaching the Bible at them, and then lying about the things that people were saying. And Holy Spackle was making this point, like, that's not how you deliver the gospel message. You don't do it like you don't deliver a lie And you don't package the gospel message, bracket it with lies about what other people are saying. And she was trying to make this point, and G-Man lost his mind over this. And if you listen to the hangout that G-Man held about this, his main point was, look, you were on our side, not on their side.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
what
do
he
that.
was like.
And there's this annoying, like he does this annoying repetitive thing, like the cheerleading thing where he goes, well, basically Holy Spackle was saying, you know, let's go nihilist. You know, and he does this cheer thing over. He never once says, well, this is what Holy Spackle said, and this is why she's wrong. He said the thing that she did that was wrong was just in any sense cheering on nihilist or Shanaraki or anybody else like that, because it's us and it's them, and you never, 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 never go against us. And I don't want to hear any of us try to.
I saw that hangout a little bit.
I would never advocate for that. That's not what I'm advocating. That's not what I'm advocating.
Not that I'm saying she should have flagged the video. I think if she had a concern about it, she should have told you and gave you the chance to edit the video as appropriate or just pull it down or whatever. If and that's, again, if that's her opinion, that's one way she could have expressed it. Not that I'm saying that I agree with her opinion, because I'm still having trouble getting a read on exactly what her concern was.
I don't know.
Okay, well, let me say this then. When we're just looking at what you copied from this comment, and she said, well, it should be, not material not available for kids. I will say, when I was first making videos, one of the things I found frustrating was that if you had some sort of gray area or a little bit of adult content on your channel, it was still within guidelines, but not something you wanted kids to see. You had to wait for somebody to flag your video. Then it'd be down for a couple of days. Then it would come back up with a warning on it that says, oh, this might not be appropriate for kids. And people had to sign in before they'd see the video. And I thought, well, and then of course it would kill the video because it was down during its critical first upload time when you get most of your views. And I thought, well, this is really frustrating. Wouldn't it make more sense for the content providers, the producers, to actually be able to say, look, this video might be of interest to people who like discussing Star Trek, and it might be of interest to people who like discussing politics or whatever. And by the way, I'm going to flag it, I'm going to mark it myself as 18 plus. And I'm very glad to see that YouTube has added that feature so that now the content producers can actually themselves say this is appropriate only for 18 plus. And that feature is available in your YouTube Live and setting up these hangouts on air. And I will say,
you lose the monetization. You lose the monetization.
Or even another thing, if
Stadius, hang on, Stadius, hang on. You lose the monetization if you do it 18 plus.
Okay, well, I'll say this.
It's
your choice. You have to decide based on the tools available to you. But I'll tell you, when I host a hangout, every time I turn on that 18 plus thing. Now, granted, that doesn't mean that people under 18 just can't possibly figure out how to, when it asks what your age is, to type in, well, what's 2017 minus, say, 20 years? I guess any kid that's at that skill level, they can subtract 20 from the current year. It's basic math.
So
true empiricists couldn't get around it. But
flat earthers are excluded. Howard Kane figured it out. Oh, wait, he's over 18.
Yeah, but again, so I do think that there's a good argument to be made for a lot of these discussions, especially if you're going to talk about these very serious issues, like the fact that there are child molesters in the world. I mean, these are things that kids need to learn about from their local mechanisms, not from someone's hangout on YouTube. I am concerned that this is the mechanism that people are learning about it, and I don't want my channel to be part of how people how children are educated about these things. Yeah, but beyond that, I don't really get what her concern is. But go ahead, sorry.
Well, kids don't watch my stuff, but I have to monetize this stuff. I have no choice. But again, she's if it's for a video to be 18 and up, loses all monetization. Again, she's should have came to me and expressed her concerns. But that still is not as big as the fact that she's now leaving a comment saying that my channel is promoting pedophilia. That's completely unacceptable. Even regardless of
that's demonstrably
regardless
false.
of anything else she's offended by. She's saying you're free to promote pedophilia on your channel. How can I look past that?
Well, that's something I think you got to be aggressively defensive about it. That nobody should ever say. Like, I mean, I was kind of upset about this last week about the whole idea. This is the thing we talked about off air. Was that I find it frustrating that if you ever say, well, gee, if Pizzagate's a real thing, I hope they investigate these people. But if it turns out they've investigated and it's just all BS. Actually, the New York Times has a great thing today that shows that, not that, well, there isn't enough evidence, but if you look at the evidence, it shows that this story is completely made up. And if you come out and say, well, it probably doesn't help to make false accusations of pedophilia, I mean, I support that message. You shouldn't be making false accusations of pedophilia. But the thing that's frustrating about it is as soon as you come out and say, well, no, we shouldn't be accusing a bunch of people of being not just pedophiles, but child molesters, locking children up in basements and that sort of thing, then there's going to be someone who comes out and says, oh, well, great, well, you're advocating, you're supporting, you're encouraging pedophilia. Oh, come on. And I think anytime someone even slightly suggests that somebody who speaks up for justice and the rule of law and seeking out the child molesters, but not going on some crazy witch hunt. Anytime they're accused of like supporting or providing cover for anything to do with child molestation, they should promptly respond with a with a big fuck off to the people who who say stuff like that.
Which is, again, I mean, I want to know what the hell she's thinking. I mean, this is, what would you guys do if she did this to your channel? I mean, I've always said, Drag said, talk to her. I said, fine. Red said the same thing. I want to hear her side, but I don't even know how to respond to something like this.
If I had a channel that was growing that many subs like that quickly and had a bit of an audience, I'd probably do a video calling her out specifically.
No,
that's
I mean,
that's just how I like to solve it.
This is the video calling her out. This is what I mean. This is on air. This is live. We have like 70 people watching.
I sent Brenda the link over Skype, but she's
and then I'd probably like review her comments and say, look, this is why you're wrong. This is not promoting this or whatever, and then leave it.
I have to bring this.
We don't know what she's seeing though. That's the whole thing that we're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I want to get her side of the story before I come to a solid position on it. But as of right now, based on what I've heard so far, Brenda is 100% in the wrong. Based on what I've heard so far. Now, Brenda can come in later and say something that totally blows my mind.
Like all I can do is just assume it was about that one Pizzagate video that was on Steve's.
No,
channel.
Dude, you're not understanding. She flagged the video that I did 2 days ago. The TST after show. That's the video she flagged. I'm just
saying that's all we can do is just assume things until we know.
No, you can't assume anything. She didn't talk about any of the video. She talked about this particular video. The one I did 2 days ago. That's the video she found offensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with, especially the way Reds had worded it, that she's a smart person. I think she's got a lot of good judgment and a lot of issues. And I think so. You're saying, Steve, like, well, what would you do if it were your channel? And I'll tell you, if she'd done something like that to my channel, I would think, well, that's weird because this isn't just some random troll. She's a respected person with good judgment. I would want to know what she's thinking. I'd want to know what her concerns are, and I would make sure that she had an opportunity to do that. Except for this one issue. Again, if I'd have seen that comment that said, "Look, I'm flagging this because you're promoting pedophilia," I would launch on that immediately and I would say, you do not say stuff like that. That's unacceptable. You apologize for that right off the bat. I'd love to hear what your problems are. I'd love to hear what your problems are, but you do not make comments like that about my channel or about my character. That's absolutely unacceptable.
Well, this is the same thing we brought up at TST. People calling people these things on TST, falsely accusing of things, fucking with their reputations, and that's one thing I called out Preet on.
Which is why I'm saying, based on what I've heard so far, I have a position that she is 100% in the wrong. However, she can say something. There is a possibility there, however minute, that she could say something that will totally blow my mind and change my perspective on things.
But I see her doing exactly what Preet did. Preet falsely accused other people without evidence, and now.
Well, hang on, because I'm not done yet. Sorry. So the idea there is I want to hear what she has to say. However, that does not mean I'm going to be, completely on the fence with the thing in total. There are still parts of it I 100% disagree with, regardless what she's going to tell me. And exactly what Hogtie just said. Accusing you of promoting pedophilia is way over the fucking top.
I had to read that multiple times.
Being that it's way over the top, there's only one thing that she can do, and that is to apologize for that particular immense fuck up, because that was an immense fuck up.
Okay, I can kind of see Fade's position a little bit where, okay, some photos, which, by the way, I don't think any of them have anything with pedophilia, but somebody getting triggered by that, I can at least remotely, if I try to.
No one gives a shit about your triggers.
But I don't, and I wouldn't care.
Oh my God! But no one gives a shit about your triggers.
But at least there would be something that triggered them. There was nothing in this video.
That in itself is not. No, because listen, if you just even use the word. If you just use the word pedophilia, even if it's in the context of pedophilia is wrong, they just hear pedophilia, get triggered, and then they false flag shit.
Hey, it's the same people that respond that way to like swear words. You can be using it in like in a positive context, but as long as you say like the F word or something,
and those are the people I tell to get fucked. Those are the people I tell to get fucked and don't watch my shit. I don't care. if you don't want to watch my shit, then you don't have to. There's plenty of other cat videos and fucking Barney and Teletubbies and shit that you can go watch for your fragile little fucking mind.
Yeah.
I'm triggered.
And somebody makes a good point, and I want to make this point. They said something about Pillbox and Tommy calls people pedos all the time on TST, or hang them on TST. What we do, nobody gives a shit what Tommy has to say anymore. He actually last time he commented about pedophilia, we jumped down his throat, and he actually backed off of it and said, "Yeah, I shouldn't be saying atheists or pedophiles." And he hasn't since. So I give him the benefit of the doubt that he actually learned from that, and he just doesn't do it anymore. Pillbox is a po.
Can I interrupt this fascinating conversation, please?
Sure.
Apparently, I don't have a personality. I wondered if anybody else agreed with that.
I think
just wondered.
You might have too much personality.
Yeah, that wasn't what I said, Ocean. I said apparently I don't have one, and I was just curious to know whether anybody agreed with that.
I think that'd be the end.
I definitely disagree.
Okay,
yeah, I'm going to say disagree on that.
Yeah. Well, I knew
you probably have too much of one. Yeah.
Shut up.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not the point, right?
There's a surplus of personality.
Well, you interrupted my rant for that, so yes, that takes personality.
There's a surplus of personality. It's much better to have one. And surely,
she's like, let's turn the conversation back to me here. But it's good personality.
I just wanted to. All I wanted to do. Hey, Steve. All I wanted to do was find out whether or not you agreed with the statement. I didn't want to. But I will say this.
It's part of her personality.
It's part of her personality.
Exactly. That's very true. Can I just point out, though, Ocean, that having a personality, irrespective of whether you have too much, is better than not having one at all, correct?
No, I agree with you.
Thank you. No, and now you can go back to discussing.
Yay! See, it's good when we all agree.
Can we
every so often
talk about that trigger thing? The thing is that being triggered should only make you leave the video and not watch it.
I agree.
I mean, that's. I mean, here's the thing. I disagree 100% about who's that one fucking, Z. Is that the new fucking proper pronoun for Milo? That one.
Milo.
Dude,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I actually subjected myself to that shit, and I disagreed with pretty much everything that was being said.
Is that Papadopoulos, that guy?
No,
yeah,
Milo Stewart, I think is here.
Oh, Stewart. There's two different ones because I like my.
Are you talking about the social justice warrior? Or are you talking about the blonde-haired British guy?
The one girl that is non-binary now.
Oh,
so
her.
she dresses like a dude.
Yeah,
Whatever. Yeah, the one where she wants to be a dude, but the only dick she has runs on D-size batteries. Anyway, so when it comes down to that particular branch of stupid, I subjected myself to watching a video to see what he/she/Z had to say about whatever, and I disagreed with it.
Yes.
I didn't flag it. I simply left the video and went back to watching porn.
Exactly. That's what we all did. Yeah, Milo Stewart. I don't understand her or they, or I don't know what pronoun she uses. I think she's just doing it for like attention. I mean, she doesn't come across as anybody that I like to listen to. I watched a couple of her things and I'm like, this is really asininely stupid.
Yeah.
I'll just point out that it's a curious segue that Red went from watching Milo to porn.
Yeah, well, that's
it's a
trigger. He's got. I need real porn.
I need real porn. Please,
I can't get off to
get this image out of my head.
She probably wouldn't be that unattractive if she actually didn't dweeb herself down as much.
I was going to
never
say
stick your dick in crazy.
Now you tell me.
From somebody who's been a victim of a heck of a lot of stuff over my life, and I'm kind of putting this out there for people who get just randomly triggered at shit. Okay. For any medical procedures or anything like that, I had a patient assault me a couple months ago. I was triggered. I mean, bad. I have to be medicated for procedures. I mean, I flash back. I do the whole thing. Okay, now I'm also a very big fan of Game of Thrones, and here comes a spoiler. When Sansa got raped, I shut the TV off and I didn't watch the rest of the season for a year, and then I went back to it and finished watching it when I felt like I could handle it. The problem is not the content. The problem is if you're the one who's victimized and you can't handle the content of what you're watching, then fucking walk away. don't expect the rest of the world to change for you because you can't deal with reality.
But they don't like my safe space. They don't like my safe space.
I couldn't have said that better. That's brilliant. I mean, people are going to get it. You know, they know their thresholds. Are they going to get triggered? Yeah. I get that, right? And I'm not diminishing what people that do actually get triggered. I understand there are things that do trigger people legitimately. I'm not diminishing that in any way, shape, or form. You know, people that actually have PSD or PSTD, and things that they just do not want to watch. Steve, I get that. What?
Be sure in this title to put Game of Thrones spoiler in there. Otherwise, you'll get flagged.
You know what? I don't watch the show, so. I watched
good. Neither do I. I don't give a shit.
I watched the first 4 episodes. I wasn't a fan. People said it gets better. I had other things to watch. I've been watching The Librarians. I've actually started the first 3 movies, and I'm in the first season. It's not bad. You guys haven't seen it? It's good.
I've been watching Knights of Sidonia. It's actually pretty damn good.
Spoiler: somebody died.
Well, that's where Ronnie gets his science.
And they got pregnant, by the way. Yeah.
A lot of people die in Knights of Sidonia. Let's put that way.
Have you figured it out yet, Red? That's where it looks like Ronnie got his idea of how black people are photosynthetic from.
What?
What? That's good.
What?
I gotta hear this.
The people in Knights of Sidonia are actually photosynthetic, so that they only need to eat food once a week.
Is this like a region on Mars, or is this something else?
No.
They're living in a massive space station.
Basically, there's a super organism that actually destroyed their planet, and so to keep the human race going, they hop aboard this lifeboat. And in order to keep their lifeboat basically afloat in space, they need to fight off the superorganism, which is really fucking creepy. Kind of reminds me of my face.
Think of like a giant Cthulhian hive mind monster that's just hell bent on destroying humanity.
You mean like G+ communities?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like Attack on Titan in space.
Yeah.
Anyways, but Shane, I do agree with you, and I think that people just there are ways of channeling your what's happening to you when you get triggered, right? And to lash out with people that don't deserve it, that's a problem that the person has.
Yeah, because they might not even know that's what bothers you.
Yeah. You know, and Brenda, do you remember when I said that I was anti-feminist and she got triggered and she's like, "Well, I'm not coming back here." I'm like, "Okay, bye." You know, whatever. She blocked me, and I was like, "Okay, fine. You know what? I'm sorry, whatever. I'm not changing my format of who I am because you don't like it."
Problem is, people think in extremes way too much. Like, sure, I technically call myself anti-feminist too, but it doesn't mean I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum where I'm like super right-wing and all this other stuff. No,
I mean, ask me what I mean by that. Right? If do you believe that women should have equal rights? Yes. Do you believe that women are equal to men? Yes. Do you believe they should be able to vote? Yes. Do you believe that women and men are equals when it comes to the society? Yes. But do I think that there's a preponderance of people going out there saying there's some kind of male patriarchy and that women, like for example, any kind of sex is rape? That's the kind of mentality these people kind of have. I'm like, no, I don't subscribe to that at all.
If any kind of sex is rape, then they're doing it wrong.
Problem.
Yeah, my favorite one.
Either, and I've been a
feminist
for 40 years.
Because you're
a feminist.
Right, because we're talking about two different types of feminism. You're the old school feminist, which I would agree with, right? And I would agree with you. I would. The type of feminist, the feminists you associate with yourself with, I would never think that I disagree with them, right? I think that they probably are correct across the board, pretty much. But when I talk about feminism now, I'm talking about modern feminism and how the 4th and 5th wave are taking it over. So I can't call myself that, right? I couldn't come and say I'm a feminist. But if you say, hey, do you accept?
Why?
Why
we can be friends, and I can call myself a feminist, and you can call yourself an anti-feminist, because I know that you're using a different definition than I do, and you know that I'm using a different definition.
Do you ever think that would be like, hey, Jade, women got the right to vote? What the hell were they thinking when they did that? Do you think I would be like that person?
We've had this discussion.
Yeah.
We get
I'm not homophobic. I'm not racist. I'm not bigoted. And yet I had 2 people defriend me on Facebook because I supported Trump over Hillary. The
type of feminists that we actually do not like are the type that say shit like, if a teenage couple goes out and gets absolutely plastered and shit-faced and can barely walk, and then they have very hot drunken sex, that the dude should actually go to prison because the girl wasn't of sound mind and couldn't technically give consent.
That would be such bullshit. I would have so many prison terms right now. I would be serving.
I
mean,
the thing
I didn't think my daughter was born.
The thing is, if you think all sex is rape, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
But that's the mentality
Well,
that people
and
have,
let
right?
me be clear, there were those people around 40 years ago too. And
Yeah.
they were extremely annoying then.
Oh, they're still
And
around.
we had to deal with them. Yes,
Still in.
and there always will be. There were women back then, and there are women now who believe that any kind of penetration was a form of rape.
Dworkin.
Even between
two women. Yeah, I know some of these. I met some mostly West Coast that moved into the central part. But yeah, they'll say that even between two women, if you're using any fingers or equipment or devices, then that's rape. And you just go,
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
penetration is wrong.
Are you kidding me? So women just can't consent to anything now?
Oh,
That's
just
pretty
oral
fucked up.
sex. as long
Yeah,
as
except
there's no
what's on your list?
penetration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you can
it gets
touch.
even
It
weirder.
has to be completely clitoral, apparently, or
Yep, don't slip with that tongue, you know.
Careful.
Yeah, I
We're
know.
migrating in adult content.
Well,
Okay.
it gets even
You don't wanna
weirder
get
when you
flagged
think that,
again, do you?
if it's
Shit.
if it's
God, you're
not
gonna have to put
consent.
trigger warnings all over this fucking hangout.
Oh, shit. I'm not gonna be able to keep this one up. I don't
I have to have
How-
mature
okay, you
content
wanna-
warnings.
So is
think even more
would
extreme?
surgery be rape then? If you're going inside someone?
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know, but
Yes, for some
but there's-
procedures, yeah, because they have to go up inside the vagina with tools and stuff, especially for like hysterectomies, pap smears, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are SJWs that I've run into that have said that that is rape.
How does that get? What the fuck possesses a person to have that kind of?
Steve,
That's like
If
you
we
don't
live in a
figure it
world
out
of
You wanna
flat
know?
earthers and anti-vaxxers, and
You really
that's
wanna
what
know?
surprises you?
No, well, it doesn't surprise me
Funny,
anymore.
because
But
it seems like
Jesus
a lot of them are on the
Christ.
other end of the spectrum.
No, you're just
It's
being a
crazy
little,
on both sides. Stay
you're
in the
being a
middle.
little bit more disappointed than you usually are. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just start giving up hope now.
You know
what
what?
I was-
I've lost hope with a lot of things. I have.
I was going to
people
say
just-
there were a few women back in the day, and there probably still are now because there are crazies everywhere, who believed that what we needed to do was to sort of create a nation of women. So women should get pregnant, and because you couldn't choose the sex of a child back then, if a boy child was born, you were supposed to abandon it. Now, not
So-
abandon it in the field. you
So
understand.
basically, make the Amazonian
Yeah, I was gonna
myth
say
a
there's
reality.
like a Wonder Woman thing or Xena.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Exactly.
Make
So
that a
there was
reality
this-
somehow.
there was
Introducing 300 female edition.
Right. So it's basically
Oh,
like
God.
put the baby in a basket.
I saw that
leave it at
porno.
The fire station or something like that.
Well,
There-
you
there's a
think
big
civilization
300
deal.
done with all women, and it
Yeah.
has been proven that women will cycle together. So
Yes.
here they would have 300 women warriors who have to take an entire week off.
No, that's the time
the
they're
battle.
That's when you're like, go
What I
kill
was
the other
gonna
tribe
say-
across the way there.
Say is I actually knew some women who were on that side of things, kind of. You know why it didn't work?
Because it's batshit.
Well,
Because
reason it didn't
reproduction.
there's a lot of reasons.
The reason it didn't work is because once the woman gave birth to that little baby boy, all those feelings went away. 'Cause
Yeah.
she was totally in love with that little baby boy.
Motherhood kicked in, right?
You
Yeah.
know, it's one thing to have an ideology, and then to have the reality hit you in the face completely changes.
You know, yeah, I agree with you.
It smacked you like a goddamn Mack truck. How's it feel, bitch?
Yep.
All I'll say is, Reds, you're lucky that one of those women wasn't your mother. Well, look
one
at
of
you.
Yeah. You know, it's like, hey, congratulations, it's a boy. Oh, let me tell you. Oh my God, kill it with fire.
Yeah.
We're sorry to tell you, Reg, but your child is Milo Stewart.
Oh.
We don't know what boy or girl.
I hate to-
That's a new gender. We're just going to go gender Milo.
Did you just assume my baby's gender?
Yep, the gender is Milo. Non-specific, non-binary.
It just freaking kills me, this whole idea of the doctor just arbitrarily chose your gender. No, the doctor looked. Does the doctor know that you're going to identify as a dragon, vampire, werewolf kin when you're 12?
Hang on. I
No.
sexually
I challenge
identify
Ocean to
as an
find that
attack
porn.
You have a
helicopter.
penis or a vajayjay, so they got to go on that.
Well,
Okay,
I've
well,
had it-
I'm going to come out and say that sort of thing is childish. This is, I mean, I get that the whole SJW thing kind of sets people off because it's like, oh, these people are out there, and they come up with these ridiculous things. Like, I mean, you might think that blacks are equal in society. They should be allowed to vote and get paid the same for their jobs and whatnot. So you're on that side of the spectrum. And then you find out, well, now there's some crazy people who say if a white person has cornrows in their hair, then there's cultural appropriation, blah, blah, blah. And so, okay, seriously. Okay, but as soon as we start getting into a discussion about gender identity or transgenderism or something, somebody's going to make that wisecrack of, I identify as an attack helicopter. Yeah. Hey, come on. I mean, like that's bullshit. Because the thing is, we're not talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say that?
I wanted to hear the rest of it.
This is where it gets weird. Because I'd have to be on the other end of the spectrum.
I want to hear how did I say? Because I was going to.
Because it's a way of mocking. It's a way of mocking something that is a legitimate concern that should be a matter of discussion and debate, right? So that when you get into things like, so that the transgender people say, well, we would just like to be able to use a bathroom that we feel comfortable in. Yeah. And then somebody says, oh well, wait a minute, well no, well I'm thinking of that idiot woman there with the whole thing. Well, I identify as an attack helicopter. Well, look, that's not the point. It's not about, like we have a significant number of people who have this gender identity issue, and they just want to be able to use the bathroom. Right. And it would be on par saying, well, when back in the 60s and 50s and 60s, when there was a fight for civil rights for the races, and then somebody coming saying, oh well, what next? We're going to start giving donkeys and cattle and sheep their civil rights too.
Yeah.
Let me address.
By the way, they do that with gay people.
I want to go first. Because I agree and disagree with Hogtie. I don't disagree with Dogtie often, so let me do this.
Dogtie.
Because Hogtie, I kind of disagree. I understand what you're saying, but here's the reason why I disagree. A lot of these people are using this to their advantage to form a persecution complex about themselves.
Yeah.
They're using it as
can I very quickly, can I just squeeze this in, because it is completely relevant. But Brenda is very particular about when she gets upset about people mocking her transgenderism, and when she doesn't. She allows the most heinous of people to just call her he, and she says, oh, it doesn't bother me, I don't care, it really isn't important. And then the next day she'll have a complete meltdown about it. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, they use it as a weapon when they need people. It's the card they have to play, and that's what we get. That's what I get upset by.
Now, I need to explain my statement though.
Oh my God.
Is the reason why I used the example I did is because there are teens to late teens who actually are identifying themselves as dragon, vampire, werewolf kin.
I know.
And they're expecting special rights because of that. They hijacked the whole transgender gay rights thing.
Yeah.
And they make the rest of them look stupid. And that's the thing that I have.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. I appreciate that. That's an important distinction. And I see you are actually, you weren't, okay, I you know what, I went off on that because I thought you were kind of extending the whole.
No, I have too many transgender friends.
Hang on. Because the attack helicopter thing, I also was in the process of making that joke, and I wanted to explain that it doesn't take 69 fucking genders in order for you to figure out which bathroom you're going to use. I mean, that's kind of taking it over the top. So yes, I'm going to say attack helicopter in the most vitriolic way possible. And if anyone's triggered by that, suck it.
I'm going to say that.
That's what
it's a big fat one. I identify as an attack helicopter.
The attack helicopter thing is supposed to be criticizing the other kin thing, not transgenders.
No, transgenders. Just
what rights are these individuals asking for? I don't think I know that part.
What rights are who asking for?
When we bring up like the other
like, I have no
to be addressed as what they identify.
Like Opa Dragon thinks he's a dragon, right? He likes to be referred to as dragon. I think even to some degree drag not.
Opal does that mockingly.
Well, can you see this, guys? Can you see this? I get the National Geographic every month, and this is this month's. Yeah. Can you see that?
Holy shit, that's this month's? Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, so where is it ever a right that anyone is claiming for transgender to be called the pronouns they want to be called?
Brother, here's the book. Are you showing book?
I don't know what you're
I got sent.
Well, I mean, it's like there's preferences of pronouns. That's one thing. Demanding it as a right to be called that pronoun, isn't that really the line to draw in the sand?
It's a matter of respect. Usually they're pointing it out.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I'm
One
gonna
thing-
go because hubby's
Freddie, go.
home, so, and I probably should
All right, feel
just
better.
It's not
relax my
because the
lungs.
villagers are gathering out with torches to get you.
No, I'm
Burn
still
the
making
witch.
chainmail. So, but yeah, nobody's outside my door saying "burn the witch." It's too fucking cold outside.
She did turn me into a newt, but I got better.
Oh,
I think
yes.
that would warm everybody up.
Hey,
It was
yeah,
just a flesh
actually.
wound.
All right. Well,
Sorry,
you
the
guys
witch.
have a good night.
Bye.
Talk to
Okay,
you later.
Christina.
Bye.
Yeah. There's actually a gender called Chaos Undivided. Are you fucking kidding me? Please tell me this is a joke.
Yes.
It's
Well,
inspired by Warhammer.
I'm glad that Christina had made that clarification too. That I mean, and the way she put it too, that these other people are sort of hijacking, a group of people who actually have been victimized, and that's always a problem. Is that when you've got, when you get an identifiable group of people who are victims of some sort of social policy or just attitudes in society, and then once they start to gain some ground, other people start coming in and going, oh well, what about my disability, or what about my
Right. They've taken it over. They've
Yeah.
hijacked it. But that happens with most things like this, doesn't it?
Yeah, well then it's important then when you're mocking the hijackers of those things that
Right.
there's
I
some
know.
way of
I'm
doing
not
it that
mocking
makes it
people that.
clear.
I'm not mocking people that have true body or sexual
Gender dysphoria.
dysphoria, right? I'm not like somebody like Nadia, right? She is literally somebody who has a gender dysphoria. I would never mock anybody for that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people you find on YouTube that have made this again a weapon to be used. It's a political thing more than anything else. And specifically with this Milo person that we're referring to, it's hard to take her seriously. It really is. If you listen to her,
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. She's nuts.
right? That's what Red is referring to.
Okay.
That's-
I don't
see,
know
it's-
if you
That's what
saw
we're
it.
talking about.
I'd like to chase
It's
down a little
those,
bit
it's those
what you're saying,
people
instead
that
of
that
actually
that
right.
that would use that. It's to basically point out the absurdity of what they're actually saying.
Okay. I'd like to chase down what Steve was saying earlier about rights because I don't think that he understands what the criticism is. Steve, are you there?
I don't understand the criticism.
No, not
What-
you, Steve. The other
oh,
Steve.
I'm here.
Okay, cool. So when people are talking about gender identification as a right, usually what I understand it to be is, say, to have I say a corrected driver's license, or being referred to as the correct pronoun on a legal document, or being able to go into a bathroom that's the right thing. I can insult somebody by misgendering them if I want to, and that's a matter of my freedom of speech. But just like calling a gay person a faggot, for example, it's inflammatory language, but it falls under freedom of speech. So with misgendering somebody, yeah, it's not a right to be called. You can't force me to say something. But
Here in
you should have,
Canada,
as
there's
far
that
as
controversial thing.
there's that
going on where it
controversy
could
when
be.
it comes down to whether or not it's hate speech. But what's the punishment for hate speech? And is it? I think that the controversy there was if it's accidental or something like that. Would you be thrown in jail or something? Canada's weird on freedom of speech. They don't have an American view of it. But as far as the American view of it, if I decide that I'm going to not respect your gender pronouns or gender identification or whatever, that's not a legal problem here. It's whether or not it's recognized on a legal document.
Yeah, see, compared to
allowed to
where
go
we
into a
live,
restroom or something like that.
Americans, you guys got it kind of easy. I mean, we have a little bit more to fear from here.
Right, of course. You have like hate speech laws, and I think hate speech
You
laws-
really don't. We do have hate speech laws, but it's like you actually, to break that law, have to educate yourself on what that law says and actively go out of your way and intentionally break that law. It is really hard to break that law.
Yeah,
How often does somebody get charged with hate speech? In
Twice.
Canada? Not
Yeah,
even-
there've been a couple of cases. What's his name?
There was the teacher who was the trying to
With
tell
all
his
the
students
assholes that
that
I know
the
from
Holocaust
Canada.
never happened, and then there was Bill Watcott.
Oh, you don't
with all
forget
the
Terry
assholes that
Terry
I know
Long
from
and the boys
Canada,
at the barbecue.
It's really hard to get that going. Like for anybody to get persecuted in that way, then.
Oh,
And
great.
both those cases went up to Supreme Court. So,
Did they lose?
oh yeah, both
Oh,
of them
my
lost.
Can I mention something?
So they were
If my
persecuted.
connection will stay.
Were they prosecuted for hate speech?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What were you gonna say, Jade? Jade? Nope. All right.
Jade or Freddie, someone speak up over there.
Okay, there we go. Well, no, I had to fix something here. I wasn't getting up. Yeah. Meow. Freddie's looking at me weird. One thing that some people have been bringing up recently is a addition to a New York City statute about hate speech, and it's been misinterpreted deliberately, I think.
What
has happened is
how do you hate speech in America?
Well, no, this has to do with officials. What they're saying is, if you work for the city of New York and you repeatedly harass someone by misusing their gender deliberately, then you can be charged. You can get in trouble for it. In other words, if a police officer were to approach a trans woman and completely and say he repeatedly, or another government official were to deal with someone in social services or something and deliberately use the wrong pronoun in order to harass them, then they can be charged with that, not in a criminal case, but in terms of violating the protocols of the employment practices of the city of New York. Probably a clumsy way of putting it, but I think you know what I mean.
So basically, if a police officer acted like Matt Slick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it has to be the part that people aren't getting is, because I've said, so you mean if I call her a he, I'm going to be arrested? No, that's not what it's about. What it is, it's a deliberate. You have to deliberately harass someone by doing that. There's an intent to it. It's not an accident.
Does anybody know what the law is on that? Like where the law, like, can I find it?
Link to it on my other computer. I can't get into that computer at the moment.
Okay.
I can't be on too many devices at once.
I'd love to see it because it's
but
any legislation.
If I could just real quick,
bad idea in my opinion.
Hogtie had asked a while ago, mostly kind of rhetorically, how Milo identifies, and in regards to how people have kind of hijacked the idea of gender identity and are inventing all these other alternative forms of gender. Here is actually how Milo Stewart identifies. It is a non-transitioning, transgender, non-binary, gay, male, and asexual.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
That is literally contradictory.
She's basically saying she's male, female, gay, straight at the same time.
No, what she's trying to do.
No, not even gay, straight at the same time. It's gay and no sexual preference whatsoever.
Gay and no sexual.
None.
That makes no sense. That's an oxymoron.
All right. So what she's been trying to do is say that she's a gender confusion, and she's been proud of this in a couple of videos, saying that she's a gender confusion. That's the reason why I'm just using she, because when she's trying to say objectively state that you're confusing people, I just don't give a fuck anymore. So
yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. So she's deliberately trying to be confusing, and she's doing it as an activist thing, and I can respect like the act, but I'm not gonna play the game.
Right. And I just wanted to add that I spent some time investigating this last year. And what you have is a lot of people trying to figure out who they are. And sometimes they go to the nth degree. Because what I was doing is I was researching what people think of gender identity, sex, sexual identity, and
yeah, I get that.
Romantic identity.
She's doing it on the online with a condescending attitude, though.
Right. Well, that's different. But what I'm trying to say is, so people will list because I'm a lesbian, but I'm also demisexual, sexually, but I'm bisexual romantically. Now, some people look at me and go, "What the fuck do you mean by that?" Well, I could easily explain what that means, but some people will divide things into little tiny categories because it helps them figure out who they are. And that's fine as long as, like you said, they aren't demanding that you agree with them or that you even understand what the hell they're.
Well, I basically stopped caring after the letter I was added to LGBTQ.
She could be, she could be looking at romantic.
Like after bi was added.
Identity.
No.
Gender,
do you know what I stands identity.
for?
Right, you guys are
I. What's the
intersex?
I?
Intersex.
Intersex.
And it was to incorporate all the various different genders that people.
No, Q is
Intersex is
Q.
intersex is thought as a medical condition.
Yeah,
Q just
it can be, but it got co-opted by others.
Hang on,
Q.
Jade.
It's Q, guys. It's LGBTIQ or QI or whatever you want to.
QI.
Q is queer. It's supposed to mean everything.
Right, but we're talking about the I.
He's saying
A
I.
lot of us.
He's saying I for like the 8th time.
I means intersex. A lot of us want to abandon
Yeah,
the whole goddamn
that's what we
thing to
just said.
say queer.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm not trying to
Yeah,
start.
I mean, how many letters are they going to keep adding? It's like, come on.
That's why
I've seen about
I'm one
7
of those
before.
people who's trying
Yeah, but
to encourage
intersex
people to
is the
say
one that-
queer.
Like
Okay.
intersex is the one that you have the strongest argument of they can't help it.
See, I but see, it's funny as a
I'm
straight guy.
confused, like, what's the
But that's not how it's
sexual and a
colloquially used.
romantic
as
identity?
a straight guy, I know
I've
this
never heard
sounds
it used
weird,
any
but
other way other than the medical
I
issue.
don't like using the pronoun queer. I'm not comfortable with it. I can't say like doctor, you're queer, or Jade, you're queer. I don't
fine
like
with
it. Now,
that.
I understand it's perfectly acceptable.
Very
I just
queer
don't like
word.
using it.
You know, and
Well, that's fine.
Am I wrong?
I'm not going to.
Well, you need to stop triggering yourself, Steve.
I'm triggering myself.
and
I'm gonna flag this now.
Should I
And
hate
apparently
myself
it's
because
gonna-
I'm
Oh,
queer?
no.
Because now it's
Steve.
acceptable to do so?
Steve, it's going to actually change soon. It's going to be to LGBTQ DNA degrades in water.
Yes. RPQ, TABC. No, I mean,
no, but seriously, what's the difference between the romantic identity and sexual identity?
You can be romantically attracted to
right.
people of both sexes.
I don't get it though.
Really?
No,
Like,
really.
You don't?
A gay
Okay,
man
the
can
difference between
fall in love
romance
with
and
a,
sex,
with a
brother, let
woman.
me tell you.
You can fall in
It's
love
a-
with someone
it-
for who
it-
they are, not.
Right.
I'm willing to recognize
The
that
thing
exists,
is,
but I
I
don't really
could be
get
a
it.
romantic.
Oh, thank
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Social justice warrior struck.
Are we getting sniped? Are we
No.
getting sniped? Is that what this shit
No.
is?
It's just,
No,
it's just the mobile.
She was warbling again. She was losing connection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but why did Steve and multiple drop out the exact
Well,
same
it's
time?
the mobile glitch.
I didn't drop out.
Have you never seen the mobile glitch? God
No,
damn
I
it,
haven't.
Steve.
I've
have
been
you not
getting
figured
dropped
yet that
out
there's another
first
guy
by
named Steve in the
somebody
room?
or something.
I think
I
there's a
don't
lot of
use
lag.
mobile, so how the fuck should I know?
I don't know. You guys have been noticing that you guys have been stepping over each other. I don't know if that's due to lag or what.
No, we're definitely stepping over each other. That's just because there's a lot of impolite people in the room, including myself.
Yeah, it's hard to.
What I don't understand is if you're liking somebody for who they are and it has nothing to do with sexual, then it shouldn't
See?
matter what gender
See,
they are.
idiots, you just stepped on a hog tie.
Oh shit!
That was probably a timing thing, but yeah, I know Jade's coming in pretty quiet too, and people are finding it pretty easy to steamroller over her. It's one of the drawbacks of being on a mobile device.
I would say ringer.
Yeah. Can I drag it back a little bit to this comments? I was just looking at the comments page. One thing I checked on too was to see, because that your recent broadcast was after the TST broadcast. I'm looking on there. There's on the TST broadcast. There's the typical blah blah blah. Oh, you people need Jesus and bullshit that JD gets every week. So whatever. But it's only on your Steve that it has. So that comment is displayed, flagged for adult content. You're free to promote. Okay, so let me just tell you the thing that when I look at it, there is a feature of this that I find puzzling. If you're confused by it, maybe this is that we have the same source of confusion here. Okay, first off, it says flag for adult content. You are free to promote pedophilia on your channel. Okay, let me pause there because I don't think that anything anybody was doing was promoting pedophilia. Second, no, you are not free to promote pedophilia on your channel. Regardless of what the laws may be anywhere, you're using a site that is owned by YouTube LLC, and the terms of service say that you're not allowed to promote pedophilia.
That's why NAMLA doesn't have a thing like this and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's right. Yeah, NAMLA would do well on YouTube. But I don't know why she would
Don't give any
say
ideas.
you're free to promote pedophilia, like somehow she's giving you her blessing or.
That's why I had to
someone
read that a
else's
few
blessing.
times.
That doesn't make sense. No, you're not free to promote pedophilia. So I don't know why she would say that. But anyway, you're free to promote pedophilia on your channel if you wish, but it should be flagged so children and others can filter out objectionable content. Well, I don't get that. But okay, so it's clear that she's saying what she's opposed to is the promotion of pedophilia. But then she says, every single time you have Preet or anyone like her on your show, I will flag your channel for that reason. Which makes it sound like what she's upset about is the fact that Preet was on and Preet was promoting pedophilia. Like that just confuses me.
There's two conflicting things going on there. We were the ones that were kind of like calling Preet out, and I don't know why how is Preet promoting pedophilia either. I don't get that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if anything, Preet was the person who was at least putting on the pretense of being like, oh, think of the children, and this is to protect children from child molesters. Now, of course, as I called her out on TST, I think that's absolute bullshit. She is not at all concerned about the children. She's not doing any of the things that she's been doing to protect the children from child molesters. She's declared this boogeyman pedophilia thing and is not at all concerned about actual child molestation of actual children. It's for her, it's completely a political thing, and I hopefully successfully drew people's attention to that completely dishonest aspect of Preet's presentation on.
Feels like it could be more
she looks so horrible. I mean, she was just being vilified, and it's damn well she should, because every argument she had was being shot down in her own. Oh, she kept going back to, well, there's other things. Well, you've already given 5 big things, and they all got shot down, and you're still saying, well, there's other things.
Yeah, but then I don't. That's why I don't understand Brenda's comment. Right? Is that at least Preet? All I'm saying here is, I mean, Preet was at least pretending to care about the children and to want to stop child molestation. I do think that's dishonest. I don't agree with that, but at least she was the one sort of looking like she cared about that stuff. But how then it's like, well, if you have Preet on, I'm going to flag you because Preet was on?
That's it. It doesn't matter what you say.
I don't know. I can't parse it out.
Is she flagging because of Preet's presence, or is she flagging because of, well, every time you have somebody like Preet on, you're going to treat them that way, and that somehow encourages pedophilia? I don't know. And if somebody does get a sit down with Brenda, I hope that she's able to sort of clarify that, because that to me just sounds so contradictory.
Right.
Only thing I can think of is maybe she's worried that like kids under 18 are looking at this kind of stuff, and she doesn't want that to happen.
No, that's not.
I agree. It's free will.
But that's not what she comes across in the comment. She says this channel is promoting pedophilia. That's the read I get from this, and that
by having Preet on,
by having Preet on, which by the way, Preet was never in here. Like I said, she's been here once, and that was God knows, I think it was like 2015. So I don't know what by that.
Yeah, she wasn't. Preet wasn't even here.
Preet has not been in here, and
every
she came in here once a long time ago. Like she first came on the scene, she came in here once.
Every single time you have Preet or anyone like her on your show, I will flag your channel for that reason, referring to filtering out objectionable content for children. No, I'm especially confused. I'm sorry, I'd forgotten, Steve. Preet wasn't even on your thing.
She was in TST.
See, the thing that bugs me is that since this one was Steve, like a child-friendly channel, like this is like.
Well, I try to in the daytime because I know my daughter can watch sometimes in the day. She does watch my channel. She tells me during the daytime when I know she's like awake and maybe watching like after school, like 4 or 5. I try to keep it minimal, but after like 9, 10 o'clock, she's never going to watch. So I try. She hasn't heard us say anything too outside the norm. But my daughter's really smart, right? She actually corrects herself. She'll be like, "This is not appropriate for children," and she'll like not listen. She's actually said, that joke isn't funny, or this isn't appropriate. So she's very good at that. We did raise her to be very aware of what's appropriate for a child and what is not, and she will please herself.
I feel like people kind of develop at their own level. So I mean, some people are smarter for their age, some people are not. Everybody's kind of their own individual.
She replied with, "I gave you a reason." No, you fucking didn't. Well, not a good reason.
Yeah, if this is her reason, again, this doesn't really tell me anything.
Yeah, well, I'm actually additionally concerned by that because I'm looking at the timestamps on it, and again, it's now the modern YouTube. I'm not going to tell you what time it was posted. You have to guess from the things.
So it says 21 hours ago now.
Okay, well, it says one day ago was her comment flagged for adult content, and so forth. We read the rest of it.
It was 19 hours when I copied it, and so 22 hours ago now, because it's 3 hours in the video.
Okay, but then now on my recently loaded version of the page, she has a reply to, so Steve replied 2 hours ago, and then it says 1 hour ago, so that could be anywhere from, whatever. And she says, "I gave you a reason." So she's now had a day or better part of a 24-hour period to think better of what she typed or be able to.
I left my comment like 4 hours ago.
I got 3 hours ago here, 2 hours ago for I gave you the reason comment, and then 1 hour ago from Leighton Bacon.
Wow.
Yeah, well, the point she's had time to, because I mean we've all sometimes blurted out a comment, if you saw something and then type something out, and then later when people jump on it, you have a day to think about it. You're like, well, I could probably have worded that better. Or give me a chance to explain it, and you'll be able to more calmly explain it. But I gave you a reason is not clarifying at all.
I think you would have to be the exception to that hog tie.
That's why I don't comment.
Your
Yeah,
comments
wait,
are
wait.
incredibly long and very thoughtful.
Nobody's ever said, "Hey, Hogtie, you were kind of brief on that. Can you go into more detail?" Never has happened in his life.
Actually, now that I think about it, there was one comment by Hogtie with regards to true empiricism that was very brief, relatively speaking, of course.
Well, Hogtie doesn't really care, but he's that brief. He's just like, whatever, fuck off.
No, I do.
It was with regards to him calling everyone Nazis.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was. Yeah, there wasn't much to say about that. That's just shit's not cool. I do envy other people's brevity. I really like that meme that I don't know if Fiona had created it or just had circulated it, but I think she created it. It's such a good idea that just that simple picture of there's Ronnie, and above it says self-taught, and then below it says by an idiot. There's such charm in that level of brevity that just
is classic. That is like perfect. That sums it up so well, right?
But if I could kind of like digress from the topic of Brenda for a moment, we do have a masochist in the room. At least I think he's a masochist, because Steve the philosophist spent probably about 2 hours arguing with DD about whether or not you could show an assumption to be true.
Okay.
Yeah, it was much more than 2 hours, and yes, it was painful.
More than 2 hours. Oh my goodness.
I actually sent you an email about it, Steve. I don't know if you got the time to read it, but I just figured, why not?
Someone has time on there. Yeah.
No, I didn't get an email. Did I? You can send me one. Did you say you did, or you're going to?
No, I sent one, and it's through my other my Philosophist SE account. I sent it to the one on G Plus for you. The email that was listed on your G Plus.
I'm looking through my email here.
When to know your Y-O-U-R. When to know your Y-O-U-R. When to know you're a tret.
I don't see an email from you.
That's a rather passionate comment, I take it.
No, the thing I'm just reading.
Oh, I did get it. You're right. I did find it. Yes.
Yeah,
Wow, this SE.
So someone
It's a
said
bit long, so I don't really expect you to read it.
As I noted at the beginning of this video, I'm having some browser issues. That's why I didn't do the holding out the way you normally do. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. I'm running some malware shit. I'm not finding anything, so I don't know what the hell is going on. But I wasn't able to check my mail. That's why I didn't even get Brenda's thing until today. Or I just didn't bother to check it. I'm reading it now. This is long, but I will check it out and look into it later on tonight.
Basically,
tomorrow, okay?
Last night I had a conversation with Dark.
I know Darwin's very well. Yes.
Dark Dawkins, Darwin, whatever. And he, at first I thought, he seemed like he at least had some kind of idea of what he was talking about in mind, but it just got more and more, clear that all he was capable of doing was being like really manipulative and toxic in the way he went about arguing.
If you don't know how to deal with him, if you're more of a passive person, he'll easily beat you in an argument. Doesn't mean he's right. He just
not necessarily because he didn't beat Ozzy.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I mean, okay, he did. He actually. What happened was he actually. Did you guys watch that with Ozzy? Besides Doctor, because that was brilliant. Because when Ozzy was asking him a question, Jack had actually just asked the same question not more than a few minutes before or seconds before, but it was a natural follow-up question. It was something about what was the question Ozzy asked Darwin? And Darwin said, "Oh, I don't want to answer that because that came from Jack, and I don't ask any questions that come from the people on my troll list." And Ozzy's like, "Wait a minute, I don't give a fuck what you're thinking with Jack is. We're having a conversation. I have a natural question to ask you that follows from what you're saying, and now you're saying you won't answer it. That's what the game he plays."
I think it was Ozzy was asking him to actually present an argument for his case.
But that's really the thing is I figured him out. Like he clearly gish gallops a lot, and also what happens is if he finds one flaw in what you've said, he'll hold you to it and distract from the bigger conversation, or what he'll do is like what he did today was focus on first he starts off with asking me if I if I know that the Christian God does not exist? And I said, assuming logic, the Christian God is not possible. It is impossible and does not exist. I know that the Christian God does not exist, assuming that logic is true. And he went on to go, okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you that. Now, what about this? And then 15 minutes later, he comes back and says, but you earlier said that you know the Christian God exists and yet you make assumptions. I'm like, no. I prefaced with making the assumption that logic must be true for me to say that I know that the Christian God does not exist.
Well, there was
he
one
did that
point where
a number of times.
He asked you if you knew your assumptions. Like, did you actually know that your assumptions were true? If they're assumptions, you don't know that they're true.
Right, you assume they're true. You don't know they're true because they're not provable.
So yeah, I kind of tortured myself a bit there, but I felt it was really worth it because, first of all, last night I had reflected and realized, like, he was using this trick, and he's being completely dishonest. And then I saw him doing it to this other guy, Randolph, who was being more polite than I was, by far. And he was just sucking him into the same kind of bullshit, Gish Gallop. That's all it is. As soon as you get him to write down his argument, if you try to make a flow chart of what he's arguing, you tear him apart.
Well, typically he doesn't.
Hang on, Doc. Have you
Time to open up spreadsheet, everybody, then.
Has he heard the Darwin soundboard?
No, I don't think Steve has.
Ooh,
Steve,
we can
he has a whole
reinvent your
soundboard.
entire conversation with that soundboard. With references to someone named MK and jacking off in dogs' faces.
I was actually kind of thinking, like it would be pretty useful to have recorded that and edited it to show, like, how he intentionally goes in these circles.
Well, let's also point out one thing that he does say true, or at least as far as we can tell. He apparently can see his dick.
Oh yeah, that's the thing too. You get him on the slightest thing, like, okay, I called him out on his lack of being charitable to what I mean. Like, he asked me the same question like 20 times last night about what was it? He asked me we were talking psychology. Oh shit, I lost it.
Was that when he was running a thought experiment about your senses?
Well, so when we were debating psychology, he brought up a lot about some thing of a model of man, right? And the thing that got me was that, okay, he's putting a lot of models that are in psychology into question. And he's telling me that because we don't assume that we know one of them to be the universal model, in a big laundry list of words he's using to describe basically this, like, because we don't have a universal model for the brain, we have nothing to go on that we can assume. And, oh, no, wait, I remember. So he doesn't seem to understand what metaphysics actually is, like the full-on definition, because he claimed that in order to do science, you have to make a metaphysical assumption that
Wait. There's a full-on definition to metaphysics?
Yeah.
Like, the definition is still being debated.
Yeah,
okay,
people know what
working usage then. But let's just say it's a matter of working usage.
Yeah.
Because
are you certain about that?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, is that a Darth Deity question?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, so we understand metaphysics deal with ontological questions more than anything else.
Right. So he said that in order to do science, you need to make the metaphysical assumption that science is true. And I said no. You don't.
Well, you got to remember, he was a logical positivist at one time. I don't know if he still is. So he actually has that in mind.
What?
Yeah.
Darwin's at one time promoted logical positivism.
When?
Ask the
I want to see that video.
He's brought it up
I'm gonna
before.
have to see that.
Right.
Like I
And
can
when
see him presenting some kind of bastardization of it, but
Oh,
not
well,
being
yeah,
a
of
full-blown
course. I mean,
logical
you can see his-
positivist.
yeah, I mean, he bastardized theory lateness that one time too. I mean, he bastardized a lot of these.
What do you mean one time?
So-
He's still harping on about that shit.
Is he? Is he still really?
Oh,
Even after Darwin's Greatest
oh,
Hits?
yeah.
Like, wow. He
So,
never
yeah,
I'll
corrects
be like in the
himself.
live chat. I'll be pointing out that like he doesn't understand what evidence is, and he'll start rambling on about theory lateness. It's fun.
So I challenged him on his ability to use charity when understanding, when
Good
taking
luck.
what I said in regards to metaphysics and utilizing his definitions, despite me correcting him on the same definition or the same statement over and over. And he eventually got to a point where instead of just ignoring me saying you need to learn how to use charity so that we can actually communicate, he said, that's an ad hominem. I'm like, what? You're attacking my character. I'm like, what do you think charity means? Like
Darwin
giving the
doesn't
people in
understand.
need. You're telling me that there are oughts that I should ethically do. Like, dude, no. The
Darwin
principle of
doesn't get what you
charity.
mean by being charitable in a conversation. His has one purpose. He will try to find something that he thinks that he can nail you on and run with it like a pit bull.
Yep,
That's his whole
exactly
thing.
what he's doing.
That's all he wants to do. He wants to show up the non-believer to his buddies that he's the only one that has a philosophical knowledge. And yet every single time, there's one thing he's consistent in. He fucks himself in the ass royally because his argument is always either circular or he actually what did he do the other day? He affirmed the consequent, right? And he actually said that this was a valid argument and was a blatant affirming of the consequent. I mean, it was ridiculous. He said, what he said? He said, if there's okay, wait, if there's no gods.
Find the video. Find the video. Find the video. He has it listed right there for me.
While you look for that, I got one interesting similar scenario that happened was when I called him out on gish galloping. He corrected me about the definition of gish gallop, and basically his definition was like screwy and confusing. I couldn't really place what the heck he was saying. And before I could like just get him to clarify, wait, what did you just say, and get on that, he said, do you know anything about Gish? About what he was known for?
Dwayne Gish.
So now you're asking me about
Being
Gish's
a dishonest
personal life
prick?
and reputation. When I'm accusing you of a Gish gallop, you're Gish galloping again.
Yeah. Gish galloping just means you throw out so many different things. You go from one topic to another, boom, 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 boom. You don't get your phone and can't respond to them. That's what Gish galloping was originally doing, because that's what Dwayne Gish did, and he was actually more famous for the bombardier beetle bastardization.
It's funny is like today he sincerely, I give credit where credit is due. Today when we were talking, he did call me out on a Gish gallop where I was doing one, and I was willing to correct myself. But he cut me off before I could even tell him, like, okay, you're right about that. He started going off on his own Gish gallop, not letting me talk for another 15 minutes.
Well, part of the problem is when he actually presents like a formal argument for his position, it's incredibly weak. Where it's like, reason you cannot reason if God does not exist. You can reason, therefore God exists.
That's the affirmative consequent that he was doing.
Well, that one isn't actually affirming the consequent.
Well, what's the one he was? I can't remember. I was trying to find the video.
He was doing
He
it.
said,
but
he
I'm trying
said,
to remember a few of his arguments he's presented. That argument style, that argument is technically valid. It's not sound because he hasn't demonstrated that the premises are actually true. And that was also something that was funny yesterday, where he confused validity with soundness, where he was saying that, Socrates is, if all men are mortal, Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is mortal. And he's like, oh, that's a sound argument. Well, it's the case that it's a valid argument that happens to be sound as well. Soundness entails validity, but not, like, you can have true premises, but...
Hey, can you do me a favor? Do me a favor, everyone. Shut the fuck up for just a second.
Example. If there are laws of logic, we can reason. Premise number 2, we can reason. Conclusion, therefore the laws of logic exist.
there we go.
If one main...
There.
Thank you.
That is the prime example of affirming consequence.
But he was so adamant about it. He's like, that this is reason, and atheists don't understand this to be a logical, correct argument. And everybody's like, but it wasn't a logical argument. It was actually a flawed one, and he still never corrected it.
Yeah, like technically speaking, circular arguments could be considered valid, but it's just that tautologies are pretty well used.
Sure. I mean, again, you could have any of the trilemma, right? The Munchausen trilemma that you want to fall back on. But that doesn't really tell you anything. Just because there's a tautology doesn't tell me anything. If I say P equals P, who gives a fuck, right?
Exactly. It's just that they're unpersuasive by themselves. You have to establish them first.
Yeah, I mean, he says God exists because God exists. That doesn't really tell me anything as far as another valid argument for an ontological argument for God. But anyways, God, we got down to 5 people in here, so I don't know if I can keep this going. Although we've got like 50 people watching, but I don't know. Everybody.
I don't know. We can mention pedophilia again and get another 5 people to join.
Yeah. No, I don't think Brenda wants to give us any reason. I mean, I asked her. Fiona asked her. Even Fiona said, what is this about? That you accuse Steve of pedophilia. I think she used it with pedophilia. But it's just
pedophilia.
Pedo. What is it? I don't know.
There's a terrible Jimmy Carr joke that goes, pedophilia is wrong. It's pronounced pedophilia.
That's somebody who likes feet?
No, pedophilia is pedophilia. But
no, but he is a pedo feet.
Yeah. Well, we would say
actually,
that,
technically, it's the other way around. A pedometrist, right? Or a pedometer. Pedo.
Pedometer, yeah. So you're measuring the degree of pedophilia with a pedometer? No, I'll leave it like this. Hey,
so what does that mean if you took 5,000 steps?
Oh, I don't even want to go there.
It felt good.
if she wants to like give me an honest reason about her her inclination of why that she felt to flag a channel, I'll listen. But I'm only going to give her like a day or two. But after that, I have to just not allow her in my hangouts anymore. And I would recommend other people not as well, because if she's going to flag people's hangouts because of content, she can't be around. Yeah. I won't have her around the community.
Well, it's like I was trying to make sense of her comment left on your video, and it's like the only sensible one that I could think of was that you were spreading information about Pizzagate, which is dealing with pedophilia. So,
but I don't think she understands. No.
Yeah. So, like by proxy, you're kind of promoting,
she says I'm promoting
a platform for Preet Wilson or something.
No,
who is
that's not what she said. You're free to promote pedophilia on your channel, which, by the way,
I know, like that is the most charitable interpretation.
I can't even be that charitable. There's no
terribly false.
There's no way I could be charitable in that regard. That's not what's said there.
No, it isn't. It's like that's why it's such a weird thing. Where it's like there are people on G Plus and on YouTube, like Amos Yee, for example, who are defenders of pedophilia, or Luke Dog, for example, who is a convicted pedophile.
Yeah, and you know what happened when I found out what Scott did, and you know what, I was like, fuck this. I don't want nothing to do with this guy, man. And I haven't talked to him since. And one time, and I told him, dude, I don't want to have anything to do with you, and he can't come in here. He's a sycophant.
And a criminal, but.
Well, no, just recently. I mean, you remember the whole sting that Scott did with him, right?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, Luke Dog is a criminal. Like,
yeah. Well,
he was charged and convicted. I'm not even sure he's supposed to be on a computer.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's just. I don't want that fucking shit around.
Like, I'll say I did alert authorities on Luke Dog, saying that, like, look, this guy's been convicted of this in the past. I don't think he's supposed to have a computer. I don't know. Check into it.
Yeah, that's something people could report, especially when he's tried to send naked pictures to a 15-year-old. I got a
13-year-old.
13. That's pretty bad.
Well, no, 13 is okay. 15, I have a problem with. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Trigger.
No, it's again, if you can't have jokes on your own channel, fuck off.
13 is way out of line, but 13 and a half.
Yeah, but exactly.
Trigger.
Well,
0.5
is culturally Jewish, so that's a young woman at that point.
Well, so it was in the 1800s, right? But no, I firmly have said many times, 21 and up, because if you can't take them to a bar, I have no interest unless, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If a 20-year-old said, "Hey, let's go," I'll be like,
So basically, if you don't have a shot,
or no, if we don't have shots in front of us, if she doesn't have a shot, like lots of them, because she'll have to
lots of them,
like lots of them.
It's funny how life works like that. She has to have lots of shots in order for you to have one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I was so drunk. That's my cue.
Anyway, I'm gonna head out for tonight. So have a good one and peace out.
Red. And Red, if Brenda does, like I said, if she does want to like talk about this, I will have to have like
the next time I see her on Skype, I'm gonna be talking to her
right,
as well as over G+. So I'll keep you in the loop.
Yes, and be very anal about.
Christopher, shut the fuck up. All right, see you guys.
All right, peace, brother.
Everybody,
all right, with that, I'm gonna be ending this. Unless Blue has anything you want to end it on, Blue, real quick, because you just came in here.
No, that's all right. You good?
All right. I mean, I don't want to ignore you, brother.
No. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ain't no thing.
Yeah, no, I like Blue, man. He comes in, and he gives us a little bit of entertainment that we don't get usually. Yeah. But anyway, so if I go for those who just watched this. The summation is, Brenda decided to flag my channel. Her reasoning that she did give is on the video description. I don't understand her reasoning. It made no sense to me. So far, everybody that we've talked to.
This woman a YouTube regular? Is she in the great debate community?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, well, toss her out of your group, first of all.
Well, that's what I was going to do, but people have said, let's give her a chance to give her actual reasons. And when we asked her on the video, what is your reason for this? She just said, I gave you reasons. And I'm like, no, you really didn't. What she said was that that it was flagged for adult content because we were having...
Because you discussed Pizzagate.
Pizzagate. We were talking about Pizzagate, and that she said every time you have Preet on or anybody like her on your show, I'll flag your channel. Well, first of all, nobody's going to tell me who I can and can't have on my program or my channel here. And what the hell is bad if I have Preet on or not? We all were disagreeing with Preet. Nobody was supporting Preet in Talking Shit Tuesday. Nobody.
Is this Preet person new?
No. No, Preet's been on for a while.
I've not heard of her.
She's been hanging out in some other hangouts mostly. She's a Eastern Orthodox, I believe.
What's her story? Yeah. Individual.
Yes, I've seen her page. It's kind of real with that.
Yeah, her channel got banned because she was spamming a lot of people with the same nonsensical rants about Pizzagate. She came across as a normal person a long time ago, but then I think she kind of started losing it for political reasons.
Well, not that long ago, it was really the Pizzagate thing that kind of set her over the edge.
Could have been.
Because she did a hangout with Bert Poole not too long ago, where she actually seemed kind of reasonable and sensible.
Yeah. Well, I thought Preet was at least able to communicate. I mean, she stood her ground. I disagreed with her fully, but I didn't think she was rabid. I guess batshit, yes, but rabid, no. And so I can talk to anybody who's batshit who's not at least some kind of rabid person. You can't even have a conversation, right? So you at least can converse with her. But I don't think anything. I mean, I know nothing on my video was controversial. There was no reason to flag it. And if Brenda wants to say her reasons more explicitly, I'll listen. But until then, I don't think I'll be having her around.
Knowing Brenda, she won't.
I know. I agree with you, but I have to give her the opportunity. But if she doesn't take the opportunity, that's fine. But if she doesn't, then she just won't be allowed in this hangout or in the Great Debate community anymore. That's fine. She just won't participate in my live feed or anything like that. She's going to go find something else to play, So, okay. Sound good? All right, everybody. We appreciate it. Thank you very much as always. See
Later.
Yeah, never mind. I was going to say something else, but I'm going to end it with that. Okay, bye, guys.